We are going live. We are live. What's up, y'all? What's up, people? What's up, chat? Welcome to the panel. The all-time top 10 NBA small forwards, the best ever. We will get down to the bottom of this. We will do this from 10 to 1, and basically give you guys the best small forwards list that you've ever seen. And this will be the correct one. Right, fellas?
We'll see.
We're gonna get it right today, right?
We will see.
Yeah, I have a beef with some things, but I don't know if I can address it. I don't know if this is the platform to address my beefs.
That's what we do around here. We
air out all the dirty laundry.
Yes, that's what we do around
I'm different than y'all. I don't beef with people. Okay, I beef with industries.
You got dirty drawers over there?
Yeah, me and Mars got into it this morning.
No, Ron, I do not do that. That's not my MO. You on the other hand, sit in the same place every day. And so I imagine you have a set of drawers next to you that are unwashed. Matter of fact, if you pan the room right now, I guarantee there's a laundry bin that's full over there. But Chill, on the other hand, and myself, we make sure to do our laundry.
I actually had.
I literally 2 days ago, the laundry bin is empty.
I do my laundry on Wednesdays and Sundays, so trust me, I always
laundry
do
bin
laundry.
is empty, sir.
I have a lot of Ron. You would know this if you went to the gym ever, but I have a lot of gym clothes that need to be washed throughout the week. But you don't go there because you don't frequent places that you have to develop something other than just yapping.
You see, we can hear soon, Swiper.
I don't know if I like this tone from Swiper early in the morning.
Mars. I don't know. Is anyone, please, for the love of everything good, is anyone a Star Wars fan up here? Anyone? No, at all.
After 2011, I was out.
All right. Okay.
After 1991, I was out.
Yo, before we go any further, Swiper, what is her name? This was when the first rendition of Star Wars,
the first one,
not in '78. I'm talking about not the original, but when they restarted it.
Yeah, so you're talking about the new era of Star Wars in '99. Natalie Portman?
Not Natalie Portman. Go for I think it was, I want to say 2012 or 2011.
You're talking about when Ray came to this. No, Ray was 2015. So that's when the new
was it that's what I'm thinking about. When
the
at the end,
80, and then episode 1 came out in '99.
Right.
And then we moved into the next edition, the 3 new.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Like
and
the last Skywalker and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes. When the first one, when she at the end of the show, and I don't want to spoil this for you, Mars, but at the end of the show, she's using the Force.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
No. You're talking about with Leia. Well, here's the thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
But here's the thing. Leia was always Force sensitive, though. Chill. Like it wouldn't have made. Well, see, the thing is, it wouldn't have made sense for Leia not to be Force sensitive, given that her father was the most powerful Force user in the known universe at the time. She just wasn't a lightsaber wielder, but there are people that were Force sensitive that weren't lightsaber. Anyway, Amanda Stanberg came out, Chill, and this is why this is important. Amanda Stanberg came out and said, Sternberg rather, she came out and said that the Acolyte got canceled, but she's a number. She and I've talked about this on my Twitter. She and John Boyega and Moses Ingram are the 3 most recent main black characters in Star Wars, and they all got hate. Every single one of them has gotten like this obscene amount of hate on Star Wars platform. But it's like Star Wars, even in 2015 when they announced that John Boyega was going to be the main character, Chill. He was supposed to be the Jedi, the Force sensitive. He was supposed to be this one that came out of the Empire that was going to end up being like this Force wielder and all this other stuff. But then people responded negatively to it because they didn't like the fact there was going to be like this black protagonist, Chill, in Star Wars to lead the franchise, and they basically completely diminished his character, and then they lifted up Rey's character, which is Daisy Ridley. And so John talked about this multiple times, but where we are right now, Amanda just got her show canceled, and it wasn't very good, Chill. I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't great, but it was still like,
is this your beef?
Yeah, it's with the fan. It's with the fact that every time a black person gets a proud role in Star Wars, they get this crazy hate, and nobody wants to talk about it. And it's only cast off as like social justice, all this other stuff. But Mart, it's a big deal. That's what I'm saying, Mart. It's a big deal in the Comic-Con universe because that's such a large amount of people.
I believe you.
Ron, for Samuel Jackson to be in Star Wars, he couldn't wait to be in Star Wars. Like that was a huge thing for him as an actor to be in Star Wars. So to make a black person in Star Wars one of the leads is an even bigger deal. Mm-hmm. But then to diminish that diminishes what we are as entertainers. Sure, I can appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate that. He didn't. Samuel Jackson, whenever he in my recollection, whenever he is up for roles, he'll go over him. He didn't even ask what his role was. He was like, I'm in. When he got cast in Star Wars, he was like, definitely. I'll do it. He didn't even ask.
For whatever.
Yes, I'll do
He
it.
give me a lightsaber. I don't care.
He didn't even ask. He was like, hell yes, I'll be in Star Wars. No question about it. Yes, that's how big a deal it is. So for a black person in Star Wars to have their role diminished when their role is supposed to be prominent is a big deal. And the fact that it's being diminished, that's corny. That is corny.
And the blowback they get at the alien universe, like everybody's cool except for the black person in the alien universe. But anyway, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, we'll get into it. My thing with stuff like that be like, obviously we know what's going on here. We don't gotta like deep dive into it. My thing is, it's our job to turn back around and just big that person up. And so,
John Boyega, shout out.
There you go.
Amanda Sternberg, bro. She's great in what she does. Moses is great. John Boyega got blackballed from acting for a long time too, but he's back. He did a recent movie on Netflix and all that stuff, but he's really good.
For sure. Well, he's guys know we gonna do. That means he fired. Hey, give that man a raise.
Best of the best.
Give him a raise. But y'all, we're gonna get into this top 10 small forward list. But before we do that, we're gonna talk about a couple other things. First of which being, have you guys heard of Tracy McGrady's all-time top 5 scores?
Tracy McGrady has an all-time top 5 scoring list. Oh, this should be interesting.
It was interesting.
Wow, this should be interesting. Let's hear it.
Let me throw this on the screen so you guys can see it for yourselves. And as you can see, he has Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, who should be on this list today. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Then you got Tracy McGrady himself and Kevin Durant. Fellas, how do we feel about this list?
I expect Tracy McGrady.
What up, PC Nation? Warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this July with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Make your day delicious. From breakfast to dessert, stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well-balanced. Head to factormeals.com/playerschoice50 and use code playerschoice50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code playerschoice50 at factormeals.com/playerschoice50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
If I was chill, that's what I'd be doing. Bop, bop, bop.
Unbelievable.
What I'm doing right now. Chill.
Unbelievable.
If I was you right now, I'd be squaring up PC week.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I was just trying to show you the good vegan options
so
out there.
This is why we always get the garbage. Trash. This is our host. Trash. Straight garbage.
You didn't
garbage.
So you didn't like the vegan options that I just presented to you?
I do like the vegan options that you presented, but in the middle of me trying to make a point, garbage.
Oh, it wasn't.
And he did it before 9 minutes. So like, you can't even.
That's why I thought I had a couple. I thought I had a minute or two. Right?
Crazy.
I thought I had a minute or two, but clearly I don't. Garbage. This is what we got to put up with on a regular basis, ladies and gentlemen. This is our host. He's trash.
Ron is seeing how much he can get away with before he gets fired.
Yes.
That's what he's doing. He's trying to see how much.
He's definitely pushing the envelope. 100%.
Maybe I'm just trying to get fired.
But they just weren't fired.
Maybe tomorrow's panel episode will start 45 minutes late.
Nepotism, man.
Also, is he trying to get fired?
Apparently.
I guess so.
But chill, as you were saying,
I expect Tracy McGrady to put his name up there because He's Tracy McGrady, of course. He think he's one of the 5 best scorers. If you look at the scorers in the league, he thinks he's one of the 5 best scorers. I don't think
Chill think you're overrated.
I do think I don't think if you think Tracy McGrady is a top 5 scorer all time, yes, I do think that he's overrated as a scorer. 100%, I believe that. So when you're talking about a dude as a bucket getter, well, what's the criteria? Can he score in the mid-range? Can he score at the rim? Can he score at the long ball line? Can he score in traffic? When does he do it? Is it only in the beginning of the games? Is it in the meat and potatoes of games? When and what setting does he do it? Does he do it in the postseason? Does he do it in big games in the regular season? When does he get that done? And when I think about great scorers of all times, I don't think of Tracy McGrady in the top 5. No, because I can't recall Tracy McGrady consistently being that kind of scorer, whether it's in the regular season or the postseason, and hitting big shots like that. Now, as a versatile scorer at 6'9", as well, we haven't seen much of Tracy McGrady in the postseason. So, but with that being said, at 6, I've seen Tracy McGrady before. He's every bit of 6'9". So at 6'9", his ability to get around guys and raise up over guys and shoot in the mid range, get to the rim and finish, dunk the ball over guys, because I think dunking is definitely underrated. I think that we should talk more about guys being able to dunk the basketball, because that's a part of scoring that really gets under. I feel like that's underwhelmed. But for Tracy McGrady, I don't think that as a top 5 scorer, I don't think he's that. But I do think that he's one of the better scorers in the game. But if you think he's a top 5 scorer, 100% he's overrated.
And that's a Melo fan, I think. Well, this thing we're talking about, I think we're talking about one-on-one bucket getting. That was the original conversation that started all this stuff. Is who's the best one-on-one bucket getter? And that's where Melo and the rest of them, and Kobe and the rest of them, get in that conversation. LeBron is not seen as a bucket getter, even though he leads all time in points. Kareem's not seen as a bucket getter. Jerry West not seen as a bucket getter,
which is nuts.
Shaq not seen as a bucket getter,
which is nuts also.
LeBron not seen as a bucket getter.
Nuts, crazy.
Dwayne Wade's even not considered a bucket getter because he was a slasher. So I think a lot of this is just people's definition of what a bucket getter is like headsy tween, pull up shooting. And can you pull up from 1 dribble, 2 dribble, 3 dribbles? And it really just the king of the court, the way we all used to play. Like, can you beat me, king of the court? Who's the best king of the court scorer in all time NBA or basketball history? And it's probably Durant. I mean, because he's just a 6'11" sniper, and you can't do anything about his pull-ups, his shots, like his mid-range, all that stuff. So I think that's where everything getting from. I think if you value that, I think prime Tracy McGrady was one of the best ever at it. I mean, he was like literally, he was in talks with Kobe for a while. Like he was
in that conversation. I won't argue that. Yes, he was in that conversation as a great one-on-one player. But is that all we talking about when we talking about scorer? Just
that's what that has to be it. That has to be it. Because there's no other
one-on-one player.
If that's the case, he's not a better scorer than Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne Wade's never on these lists. Never. He's never on these lists.
Why is he not a better scorer than Dwayne Wade?
You said what?
Why is he not a better scorer than Dwayne Wade?
I mean, I think that if you're consistently able, and I know we talk playoffs and all that stuff, but I think if you're consistently able to elevate your playing in a playoff format, meaning half court setting defenses, your pull-up shooting can work, and your driving ability plus ability to get to the free throw line, I just think D Wade at his apex was just a more convenient score by being able to score at the rim. But I think on the other end, like no matter what the defense was doing, his ability to draw fouls and contact was also imperative to him being successful in that setting. And I think you being able to do that at a high rate consistently, and on top of that, he was a good pull-up shooter, during his prime before his knees and stuff like kind of started wearing out. He was a good mid-range shooter. I don't think he was a better overall shooter than T-Mac in a regular season setting, but I just think he didn't have as many issues converting that to the playoffs, and especially like in some of these finals runs that he went on, and in the first one especially. I know he shot 93 free throws in the NBA finals. Is that the number correctly what it was? But yeah, it was a lot. It was more than the Mavericks as a team.
Why do you think guys are more efficient?
I believe it was.
Because Mars, you just brought up why is Tracy McGrady, I mean, he a better scorer than Dwayne Wade. Why do you think guys are more efficient than other guys? I think it's because guys take better shots. The reason why Kevin Durant is as good as he is as a bucket getter and as an efficient scorer, Kevin Durant doesn't take a lot of bad shots. Kevin Durant takes a lot of shots that, one, he can make, 2, he takes in the flow of the game, and 3, that he can get to. He gets and Kevin Durant gets shots as a scorer in the flow of games. That's what scorers do. Scorers aren't just guys who just keep jacking up shots. That's not Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a guy who, once I get going, I'll continue in the flow of the game. I'm not going to take shots with 3 and 4 guys hanging on me. I'm not going to take bad shots. That's where I feel like efficiency comes in when you're talking about guys being more efficient, because they don't take a lot of bad shots. Now, sometimes you're going to take bad shots as a scorer. That's just part of it. But with that being said, a lot of these guys who aren't as efficient, I think it's largely due to them taking a lot of bad shots.
I think that's where the variance comes from, though. Kevin Durant can shoot bad shots and still be hyper efficient. Like, if you have a close defender on him because of his length and because he just has this precision with his shot. You know who I've been watching a lot, and really, actually, I want to thank Ron. I really want to thank Ron, because I've watched Larry Bird before, but I think ever since the PC debate that we did.
Oh, you are going to be watching Russell Westbrook a lot this year, though.
Oh, the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson one?
Yeah, remember that? We did that Mars, like, what was that, 2 weeks ago or whatever else?
Yeah,
so before that, when I was drinking water and y'all were telling me I was like on Casamigos and all that stuff. I know you remember that. When we were doing that the pre-lead to that, and then ever since, like, I've watched Larry a good bit, but I've been going back and mostly watching his interviews and stuff, Mars. The way that people talked about him, and even like watching some of those games back, Chill, even in the 80s, he might have been the best shot maker in the league. Like, of all of them. Like, him. But I'm saying, like, that's including, like, this is Jordan. Like, I'm talking even Jordan from 87 to 90. Like, I think Larry might have been the best shot maker, period, even among the greats. And Magic was also a really good shot maker, to be fair. He just was not like within 6 feet in, like 8 feet in kind of shot maker. But Larry's ability, even at that shot that he had versus the Suns, y'all. I know y'all probably remember I think he was what was his the coach's name? Jones, Chill. He was a black dude. Casey Jones. Casey Jones. Remember, he called the timeout after Larry had already made the 3, and then
he made the next one.
But do you remember what kind of shot it was? He turned around over his left shoulder off of one leg and like just heaved it up, and he called all of his shots, and then he turned around and like said it to the Phoenix Suns, like, I told y'all, like, whatever. But Larry was just different. And then Chill, if you hear the stories about him and like what people used to say, I'm talking about like, even Rivers, like, Elder Rivers and all that stuff, like the way that the people are talking about, he literally would say to us, all-time great players, like even Sean Kemp later on, he was saying to all-time great, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, if you go up around the screen, I'm popping out for a 3. If you go under the screen, I'm hitting you with a floater. And I just think, like, even Larry Bird, y'all, like, I think Larry Bird's a better shot maker than all of these people.
No, this is what I'm talking about when we talk about efficiency, right? This is what I'm
talking
about.
Mars.
This is
what I'm talking about. T-Mac and them. I'm talking about T-Mac and like.
This is what we're talking about the list, and when we're talking about efficiency, like the kind of shots that you get matters. I mean, you as a bucket getter, you're gonna have to take tough shots, right? You're gonna have to take tough shots. You're gonna have to make tough shots. But the amount of tough shots you get, as opposed to the amount of shots that you make, in as a shot maker, Larry Bird was a really good shot creator and got open. So when I think about Tracy McGrady, I feel like Tracy McGrady shot a lot of bad shots, which would explain why his efficiency was what it was. Now, some of you guys might attribute that to him being on a bad team. Like, he didn't really have a lot of guys to go to when he was in Orlando. He didn't have a lot of guys. But that actually translated over to when he was in Houston. It also translated over to when he was in Toronto. Tracy McGrady was trying to show who he actually was. I'm not arguing that Tracy McGrady was a bucket getter. I'm not arguing what he was as a finisher. I think Tracy McGrady's inefficiency was because he took a lot of bad shots, and I feel like that kind of takes away from him being one of the better, or as in terms of a top 5 scorer in the game. I think that takes away from that because a lot of guys didn't do that.
Chill. I want to combat not just the Tracy McGrady part, but the bad shot part, because all 5 of these guys are bad shot takers. All 5 of these guys are chuckers. All 5 of these guys.
Kevin Durant is not a chucker, Ron. No, he isn't. Kevin Durant is not a chucker. No, he is not.
I wouldn't classify.
No, he
okay,
isn't.
so Kevin Durant might not be classified as a chucker, but he 100% takes bad shots. The thing about it is, Kevin Durant just happens to be 7 foot and can shoot over everybody,
right.
and he makes them. But all of these guys make bad shots, including Tracy McGrady. That's what makes them elite scorers. Is you can take a shot that you shouldn't be taking,
sure,
but make it look easy on a consistent basis. Right. But we've seen Kobe shoot on triple teams, quadruple teams. We've seen Jordan go in there in the paint with 4 people in there, but it just happens to be Michael Jordan. I jump a little higher than you. I got a little more finesse than you. I got a little more just flavor to me, and I can finish this. And we've seen Carmelo Anthony shoot terrible shots. But it's Carmelo Anthony. Like George Karl, what you gonna do? Sub me out the game? No, because I'm shooting bad shots on my way to a 30-point night. And so like all of these guys do that.
Right.
They just have the ability to make high difficulty shots.
Right. Now, with that part, I'll agree. Because I said that already, that these guys, all scorers take bad shots. 1, it's the degree of a bad shot. 2, the frequency of your bad shots. Guys like Kevin Durant, Jordan, who now knows, Kobe Bryant, who now knows, LeBron James, these scorers who now know, okay, this is where my spot is. This is where I'm going to get to. I'm not really paying much attention to the defense because you can't stay in front of me on a consistent basis to stop me from getting to my spot at the 17-foot mark or in a pull-up game, whether I'm on the block or whether I'm in the mid-post. You can't stop me from getting there. So now I developed these spots. And once I developed these spots, Bernard King said it. Bernard King said that he had 6 different spots that he got to. When a scorer has those many spots, there's really a lot that you have to do to slow this guy down from getting to 6 different spots. A guy like Tracy McGrady, when you have 3 and 4 guys hanging on you, I shouldn't be shooting that many shots in that kind of frequency when I got that many guys hanging on me. KD was really good at not only creating space, but he knew when to shoot. He knew if I had a double team, how I can shoot over a guy. He also knew when it was important to get off the peel. He wasn't one of those guys who was a shot chucker that's why I think that was one of the major problems that I had with Kevin Durant as a scorer. Because I feel like Kevin Durant let you off the hook. I think he could have had 50, 60-point games more often. But I think he kind of let guys off the hook with that. So with that being said, I think that a lot of these guys that you just talked about, Ron, one of the major reasons why I feel like that with Tracy McGrady in particular is because his shot frequency, he could have taken better shots and been more efficient, and I feel like he could have been a better scorer.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But here's also the thing that Kevin Durant, out of everybody on this list, out of Jordan, Kobe, Carmelo, T-Mac, and you can go with a laundry list of other guys that are all-time great scorers. Kevin Durant's the only guy that's had the luxury of playing with the Hall of Famer essentially his whole career in multiple Hall of Famers. So I will say this. Hold on, just a second. Yeah. Kevin Durant,
I'm just need the explanation.
Keep going, Ron.
I'll get back to that point. But here's also the thing too. Kevin Durant, out of everybody that on this list, he happens to be the best off-ball player too. Just because he's 7 foot and can shoot the ball out to the logo. He's
Who's
the best
all on this
shooter,
list again? Can you say the list again?
Jordan,
Kobe and Mike are pretty good off the ball.
They're not KD though. Just because KD's ability to space the floor off the ball just makes him in another tier above Jordan. And now, if you're talking about moving without the ball, okay, I'll give it to Kobe and Jordan. But if we just talk about just spacing the floor, and you see what I'm saying? And I'm
Is he a better off-ball scorer than Shaq was?
Than Shaq? Well,
it's different.
I mean, that's what I'm trying. How do people value off-ball scoring? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, he's talking about spacing the floor.
And so here's what I'm saying is when you're playing with Russell Westbrook and James Harden to start your career, those two are obviously two of the best passers that the NBA has ever seen all time. You started your career with those two guys. You went to Golden State. You went to one of the best free-flowing systems with multiple playmakers in that system. Steph, Draymond, Iguodala. And then you're playing with other elite shooters too. So now you're getting easy shots and stuff like that. Jordan didn't have
Kobe playing with?
That's a good question.
No, Shaq.
He played with Shaq, but that was nothing.
Let's not make it. I was about to say, let's not make it sound like he was just playing with Shaq, and he was also playing with Derek Fisher,
Gary Payton, Ron Harper,
Derek
Brian Shaw. Ron's alluding to the down 05 to 07. He's alluding to the pre-out post Shaq.
Even with Shaq though, was Shaq feeding Kobe? Yes. He had a lot of gravity. What I'm trying to say is because we're talking about tough shot making.
Well, he was the second option on those teams, so obviously you would have a lot a lot of open shots in that system because of Shaq.
Yeah, but also
a lot of tough ones too.
Yeah, a lot of times
he's a great tough shot maker.
Kobe forced shots too. But what I'm saying is because we're talking about Kevin Durant taking better shots. Kevin Durant has had the luxury of playing with some of the best playmakers that the game has ever seen. Even back at Brooklyn, you playing in Brooklyn with Kyrie and James Harden. Even now, you're playing with Bradley Beal. You're playing with Devin Booker. He's always had other options to make his life a little easier. That's not me knocking Kevin Durant. I'm just saying.
Don't we have evidence?
Have people to be able to get you the ball in easy spots.
Yeah, but don't we have evidence the 21 run when Kyrie went down and Harden was like a shell of himself that like KD when asked when he's healthy is able to rise at a level that most players have never been able to touch as a scorer.
Yeah, even that year too when Russ went out too.
He had a stretch, Ron. KD. He had a stretch where I think he was 60. I think he was 63, 57, 80. KD was for 2 months. I know that sounds stupid, Mars, but that's what he was doing. He had a stretch for 2 months where he was 60 plus, 50 plus, 80. That's what he was doing for 2 straight months.
He gonna make his free throws. He needs to rush it.
Had to be higher.
That's what he was doing.
No, he's probably a bump.
Ultimately, the point I'm making though is guys like Melo weren't playing with multiple Hall of Famers, so he had to force more shots. Guys like T-Mac wasn't playing with multiple Hall of Famers, so it was on T-Mac to go 1-on-5 sometimes, want to go against double teams and stuff like that. Kevin Durant has always had other competent stars on his team that make his life much easier.
This is rewriting history, Ron. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ron, that's why, in fact, Ron, that's why
Melo had the AI and Chauncey and never touched KD's efficiency.
Okay, I'll give you that. But AI, with all due respect to AI and Chauncey don't light a candle to James Harden and Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook has been called a negative floor spacer during those runs too.
That's why Kevin Durant left Golden State for that reason right there.
Okay, but when we factor
Harden
in all
wasn't
of those
even
guys,
there.
Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen.
He did have Scottie Pippen. I said multiple guys throughout his career.
Steve Kerr, John Paxson were both floor spacers. Ron Harper was a floor spacer.
Playmakers.
They were both decent playmakers. I don't understand.
Well, the triangle.
Are we really doing this right now with who's had the most help out of all of these guys on this team?
No one's arguing that KD in totality has played with more help because he's moved more teams.
No, we're not doing
that. But that doesn't mean that he's getting easier. The triangle is meant to manufacture easier looks for guys like MJ. Kobe was a little bit different because they had the post presence of Shaq, so it was a little bit different. But for MJ, it was Scottie Pippen and the triangle manufacturing shots for him. Carmelo didn't play with Steph Curry and Russell Westbrook, but he played with guys who were there to get him the ball. Chauncey Billups was there to get Melo the ball. AI is someone who has his own gravity driving downhill who could create opportunities for him. No one is saying KD has played with less talent than anyone else. But when you start bringing up guys like Bradley Beal in the playmaking point, but Scottie Pippen is somehow too far. Bradley Beal and Kyrie aren't playmakers. They can playmake, but they're scorers. So bringing them up because that's the talent he's played with. But then when we bring up a Derek Fisher, someone who's a table setter, or a Ron Harper, it's they're not as talented. But Bradley Beal is a scorer more than a passer. So you're bringing him up because of how good he is. But
Bradley Beal's not a bad play. He's not a bad playmaker.
Watch him for Phoenix this year. He wasn't being used as a playmaker. He was being used as the off-ball scorer. That's what he was being used as. So his value to Kevin Durant is not getting him open shots. His value to Kevin Durant is providing space.
And even Mars, just to be fair, go ahead, Chill.
What I was going to ask is, Mars, wouldn't that be constituted with the offense? I mean, would Bradley Beal be would he be better as a playmaker if the offense was different as opposed to them just running one-on-one screen down action? Would he be a better playmaker? So, I mean, are we holding that against him? Could he be a better playmaker?
It's not about holding it against. It's not about holding it against Bradley Beal. You can feel how you feel about Bradley Beal, but the reality is, next to Kevin Durant, he hasn't playmate for Kevin Durant really. That's just not been what he's been asked to do. Could he be asked to do that and do it well? Possibly, but he hasn't. So he hasn't benefited KD in the way I think Ron is trying to allude to by saying he's played with all of these talented guys.
He's
played with talent.
You ran to Bradley Beal. It's a whole other laundry list of guys that I can say with Kevin Durant. I'm just saying because Chill was just saying that KD doesn't really force shots. When you have other elite shot makers, it just makes your life a little easier. And I'm more so talking about Tracy McGrady. This is Tracy McGrady and T-Mac are the main two guys that I'm harping on.
That's
because Tracy McGrady and Carmelo, my bad. Tracy McGrady and Carmelo. Those are the main two guys that I'm harping on. They T-Mac never had a Bradley Beal. Never.
But he played
had
with Yao.
another
Wait,
Bradley
wait,
Beal.
hold on,
He had
hold
a
on.
Yao Ming. He had a big man. He never even had a Bradley Beal.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
I'm trying to understand. Hold on,
T-Mac maybe
because
had a Bradley Beal,
it would be one thing.
Maybe he would have got
Ron,
easier looks.
I
Ron.
respect Mike Miller personally. You know what I'm saying? I respect Mike Miller.
Yeah, it
Especially
would
as
be
a
one
floor
thing.
spacer.
It would be
I
one
respect
thing
my
if you're saying Durant had league average like efficiency while doing this, but it's Durant having like all-time great efficiency while doing this. So like he's even exceeding the bar for what greatness would look like as a scorer when he's in these situations. People said that Kevin Durant didn't have a great playoff run this year when they got swept, and he averaged like 28 on like 65 true shooting or something like that, even in that series when they were getting bottled up and he was facing mostly one-on-one coverage and the rest of the team around him was getting clamped up, except for one big game from Devin Booker in which he had 40 points or whatever else it was. So you can go through multiple series with Kevin Durant that even when he's playing next to these players, his efficiency relative to his peers is still like higher than almost any jump shooter ever. So I think that's what it is with me. It's just more so like if it was like he was underperforming and his league average was lower than it needed to be, like that'd be a different conversation. But KD's like when he's right, like even the 21 year before he got traded, y'all the 41. Me and Mars talked about this before, but the 40 something game sample size, he was like 69 true shooting on 30. So even in those situations, he played with Nick Claxton and them, like he's in Kyrie for 20 games, like he still literally like is putting himself in conversations where like no one's touching that level of volume and efficiency except all-time great players, and most of them are bigs. Like that's who KD's conversation is as a jump shooter.
Yeah, I think the separation is I'm not necessarily knocking KD. I'm more so saying that what would Melo have looked like next to all-time greats like this? What would T-Mac scoring have looked next to all-time greats like this? Well, I think the efficiency goes up, and I
first of all,
does it go up to KD levels? Does it go up to KD levels?
No. I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying, look at and here's a perfect sample size. Look at Melo on the USA team. See how his game looked a little different.
I'm not gonna lie. He only had one efficient Olympics, like statistically.
And you also got to add too, and you also have to add too, Ron. What does Carmelo Anthony look like in a ball moving, action moving offense like the triangle, which he struggled in when he tried to put the triangle in when he was with the Knicks? He struggled. Yeah, he absolutely struggled in that. Now Carmelo Anthony, more of a one-on-one player, he gets to it. Now, does Carmelo Anthony take bad shots? Like I just said, all of these dudes take bad shots, but Carmelo Anthony is a 1, 2, 3 dribble pull up or get to the basket kind of guy. He's not one of these guys that holds on to the ball and it stops with him all the time and the offense doesn't keep moving. If he's getting it, he gets right to it. If he gets it, he's not dribbling like James Harden 6, 7, 8, 9 times. He's getting right to it. So when I think about shot creators, I think Carmelo Anthony is absolutely in the conversation as one of the best scorers in the game. I won't argue that. But the fact that it was less for him to get to it as opposed to guys like Tracy McGrady, I think that puts him ahead of Tracy McGrady.
All right, y'all. Got a super chat from Just 8 MMA. Just 8 said, which is hypothetically the best duo of T-Mac's all-time scoring list? Kobe and D Rose in their prime, or Kobe and D Rose, prime MJ, 2-time MVP Steve Nash, Melo and Steph Curry, unanimous season, KD, prime Rondo, T-Mac, prime Magic.
I hate stuff like this, and I'm sorry. The reason why I hate stuff like this because y'all dudes think that when you put scorers together, it's just you go, I go, you go, I go. We need somebody to get you involved in the game. We need somebody to create shots for you because we can't just keep giving you the basketball because we already seen that with Phoenix. I give this dude the ball and he goes. I give this dude the ball and he goes. They get mopped, so we can't see that.
No, he gave MJ Steve Nash and he gave.
There's your winner right there.
Well, he gave KD Rondo. He gave T-Mac Magic. Like he gave them point guards. Derrick Rose is more score first, and Steph is more score first. But the other three got like a traditional point guard. So, I mean, I'm picking MJ and Steve Nash. But
I'm taking MJ and Steve Nash.
I'm biased. So.
Yeah, I think that one's kind of hard to not take.
T-Mac and Magic though. Ooh. As fast as they played,
6'9" backcourt.
I like that. I do like that. Mm-hmm.
Still taking MJ and Steve Nash.
Shout out Hammerin. Shout out Hammerin. Became a member today. Appreciate you for joining the show. And also, I can't go any further without saluting all of our Hall of Fame members. Got to give a big shout out to Dorian Clayton, Cobra Son of Raditz, Multi Kinney, Kendall Daniels, Arch, Jerryality, and we have a new Hall of Famer, y'all. We have somebody that's just jumped into the Hall of Fame tier. And you got a big poster on the wall right now in the PC Hall of Fame. His name is Hutton Gilgaris. Shout out to Hutton.
What's up? I see him in the chat right now. He said Mello.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Shout out my man Hutton. Speaking of Mello, we're about to get into this top 10 small forward list of all time. So a couple people have been already mentioned. Larry Bird, I'm assuming he's on the list somewhere. Bernard King, he could possibly be on the list. Mello. Talked about a couple people, so let's go ahead and dive into this. Oh yeah, eat it, Hanzo. But y'all make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't, call Hanzo a buster in the chat, and shout out to everybody that sent through super chats. We're gonna have a good ass episode, and we're gonna get into this list right now. Let's do it. So y'all, it's gonna start with a couple. The Big Ox, you there?
What up? Yeah, you can't see me?
Earth to Ox, you here?
Yeah, bro. What's up?
You ready to
Big
step up
fella, how
again?
you running, big fella? I was just about to say that. What's up, big fella? How you running?
I'm chilling. I wasn't digging that conversation I was just having, so I just let y'all have it.
What you
We
want?
know how you feel about
Too
T-Mac.
much
Yeah,
Team Xlander.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
know
I'm
how
ready.
you feel about Max Sauce. We know that.
Yeah, I ain't want to come in and derail the show because I was looking for my charger for my computer, and so I was listening to what y'all was talking about on my phone before I got on, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna stay out of this. But it's all good. So I'm ready to run, but I'm waiting for this list.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get into the list, I have to shout out some people that unfortunately didn't make the list. So we got a list of 15 guys. And these
Wait,
guys,
Ryan, y'all every time you keep coming with 15. Am I supposed to send the 10
No,
and then
no.
5 honorable mentions or something, or what?
No. You sent
15
in-
names have been said in total.
Yeah.
Got you.
So
Okay, and
these
the
are the
five-
15 names where they at least got one vote.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. The first guy is Bernard King. Shout out to Bernard. I'm gonna just reel off some of his accolades, and we could talk about him a little bit. He was a scoring champ, 4-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, and he has 19,000 points.
Who put him on that list? Or did you just try him out?
No. Bernard was on. Jordan's list. He's not here yet, but
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
how we feeling about Bernard King?
One on my list. I mean,
Not on
shout out
my
to him
list
though. Yeah, great score. Great score.
Bucket getter. He just didn't do it long enough.
Yeah, he got hurt, but he came back and he looked okay, and then it got hurt.
Made the All-Star team in '91. Yeah.
Yeah, he came back and looked all right, and then it just went left. But shout out to Bernard. Like I've watched. I'm not gonna act like I watched a bunch of him, but from what I have watched, I was moved.
He a bucket getter. Bernard King was 100% a bucket getter.
Shout out Bernard King, all-time New York Knicks legend. Next, honorable mention, Swipers man, Alex English.
Was he on Swiper's list?
Yeah, of course. They'll have a late, like 10 or something like that. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, he continues to get no respect in the basketball community, but it is what it is.
No, shout out to him. Another great scorer. Just wasn't on my list.
Alex English was nice as hell. He wasn't better than Bernard King, but he was nice as hell.
Yeah, I don't think he was better.
Yes, he was nice as all hell. Yes, he was.
Did it longer though. Yeah, did it.
Yeah, 6'8", could score in the mid range. Was really good in transition. Not that he wasn't as good as Bernard as a one-on-one player, but he was a really good one-on-one player. Might have been a little bit a little less of an efficient, little less of a better finish, a little less of a finisher than Bernard King. But Alex English was awesome. Could finish around the big guys. Could finish in the mid post. Was great in transition. Yeah, he was awesome. I will not argue Alex English as one of the better small forward bucket getters in the game. Nah, he wasn't on my list, but yes.
So
Alex English. 8-time All-Star, 3 All-NBA, was a scoring champ, has 25,000 points in total in his career. Also averaged 25 points for 8 straight seasons.
Let the whole decade in scoring.
You gotta respect 25K. You gotta respect 25K.
I'm saying the basketball guys might not forgive us for this.
Nah, 25K is 25. You gotta respect 25.
Ox, he led the whole from 80 to 89. Bird's running around, Jordan's running around, Jabbar running around, Neek running around. Nobody scored more points than Alex English from 80 to 89. Nobody.
Alex English. I don't have all 6 lists in front of me, but Alex English was on somebody else's list too.
It's crazy. Yo.
Was he on your list, Mars?
We might be in trouble, Ox.
Yeah, I know.
He might have been
and I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it because he
wasn't.
Man, he didn't make my list, but I knew I was wrong when I did it.
Oh yeah. So Jordan had George Gervin on his list, and I told him George Gervin is going to go into the shooting guard category, so you got to put somebody in. He put Alex English in there. So shout out to
so he had Alex English and Bernard King. So the 2 honorable mentions, he's had both of them. Okay, so his list gonna be interesting. I need to know who the other.
I'm telling you, man, I like Jordan. I like Jordan.
Of course you do.
Of course you might not like him after this episode.
Oh, he has Scottie Pippen at like 10.
I'm not saying anything. We'll just wait till he gets in here, and then we'll ask him about his list. He should be pulling up here soon. But let's continue to keep it pushing. Let's address that. Alan L said T-Mac top 5 L Ox.
And by the way, school just started, Ox, so it might be some bread.
Yeah, right.
It might be some money in there. So school just started. So you might be able to get something. Might be able to get some lunch
coins in there.
Yes, school just started.
Get him before you hit that vending machine.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, moving along. I didn't personally like this one, but this is the next guy. We have a Lakers legend, Elgin Baylor.
Oh, he ain't make the list?
Be like that.
He was on my list. Yeah.
Did I not put Elgin Baylor on?
He didn't win
that,
nothing, so you don't deserve to be in top 10.
Be like
you don't deserve to be in the top 10? Why not, Swiper?
That's the word on the street.
He's had Steve Nash in the top 10 points.
He won a lot.
Okay. I had Elgin on my list.
Alex English ain't win nothing.
Bro, relax. He was hurt in the Western Conference Finals. Chill.
Yeah, break.
Yeah, I had Baylor at 10. Spoiler alert, I had Baylor at 10. Was I the only one who had Baylor?
No, I had Baylor the highest. I had Baylor at 8 on my list.
I forgot about Elgin Baylor. I'm wild as hell. Right
this old man forgetting about it.
I forgot about Elgin Baylor. I'm wild as hell.
I ain't forget about Elgin Baylor. It's just too many.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so wild.
So wait, would you put Baylor on your list, Joe? Would you put Baylor on your
list? Yes. I'm trying to hold.
So maybe Baylor would have made it. Just about.
So who comes off your list, Joe?
That's what I'm about to tell you right now.
This is the second change he's about to make. He tried to make one before the show too. This man should stay forgetting, man. We gotta cater to our elderly community, man.
Carmelo got to come off. Yeah. Carmelo got to come. Carmelo got to come off the list for Elgin Baylor. Yes, he does.
As much as I love Melo wasn't even.
Carmelo got to come off for Elgin Baylor.
We're not even on the same wavelength, bro. I don't know why I'm on the show today. Honestly, respect. If y'all gonna disrespect Denver like this, I shouldn't even be.
So you got where you got. So both of y'all got
Elgin Baylor.
You see what y'all did?
Swiper has Melo and Chill has Melo and
I do have Melo.
Ron has Melo.
I got Melo.
Y'all drunk.
Y'all know PC ain't been the same. PC ain't been the same. Y'all went political on me. PC ain't been the same.
Shout out to Elgin Baylor, man. I thought
for
he
sure.
did enough to make it.
Elgin Baylor, holy shit.
Elgin Baylor, 11-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA, 23,000 points, and 11,000 rebounds.
Great player.
He averaged more rebounds than Shaq. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah,
61 points in a finals game, which is the highest ever, and 8 finals appearances.
Yeah. Elgin, I tried, man. I'm trying to show love to the.
Hey, we still doing honorable mentions?
Yeah.
You got one more, right?
We got a bunch.
We have one more, but we also have a tie for 10th place, too.
Oh, okay.
So who's the other honorable mention? Because I ain't heard a name yet.
What do you mean you haven't heard a name yet?
That means he's going to be on the list.
He better. I'll tell you what, this player better.
If you're trying to make Jason Tatum an honorable mention just to hate on him, then you're crazy.
What are you talking about?
Please don't tell me it's Jason Tatum. Please don't do that.
This is the problem. You KM7,
it's not just
you and
it's not just
KM7 in the
Okay,
chat hating on the Nuggets because of me, because Swiper made me hate
How
the
I
Nuggets.
hate on the Nuggets?
I'm from
I hate on the
Denver.
Nuggets.
I don't know what to tell y'all.
How
Y'all
I
don't like
hate
at
on the
least
Nuggets?
I rep my city and like chill. Go get on him. He's a 49ers fan. Like, why you on me?
Since I was 8 years old. Since I was 8 years old.
I mean,
since I was in the
Swiper,
3rd grade.
For what it's worth, Chill did live in the Bay, so like he moved to the city that he reps.
He lived there. He lived it, man.
You can do that.
My man was a movie star. He was a movie star in the Bay. That's all that was.
The thing about it is, it's not JT who's this honorable mention, but it's another Celtic, and it's about to piss me off.
Oh,
that's what I was saying. Like, he should be honorable mention, but he should.
Not exactly a Celtic ox, but it was a cat that was kind of getting his ass whooped by the Celtics.
Celtic was
but used to give it to him though, Chill. Back in the 80s.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Back in the 80s. What was his nickname?
Neek.
Big game.
It was another one. It was what?
I want to say it's no way, Dominic. This is no way. Neek's in the top 10, man.
Chill, you know Dominic Wilkins' nickname. What?
Oh, Human Highlight.
Human Highlight. There you go.
Are you serious?
Y'all didn't watch
There
Hoops,
you
bro.
go. There you go.
Yo, Ron, stop playing.
Can you handle it, Swiper? Can you handle it, Swiper?
Dominic can't make it.
Are you shitting me?
I got about 11.
So Ox had Neek on the list. I know I didn't have him on the list.
Yeah, I had him in honorable mention.
I had Neek on the list. Yes, I did.
But the small forwards are hard though, bro.
I wanted to put Neek on my list,
but you put Melo instead.
Man, come on, bro.
Elgin Baylor.
Melo had a better career than Neek.
I wasn't even.
Melo has better numbers than Neek.
I'm cool with Elgin Baylor. Like, I'm taking Elgin Baylor, and I've told you how I feel about Dominique. I'm just not as high as you guys. I've made that case. So.
Ox, if you bar for bar their career, Melo is a better player than Dominique Wilkins.
Bar for bar?
Bar for bar, 1,000%.
No way, Swiper bar for bar.
Especially don't bring up playoffs. Don't bring up playoffs. Because you ain't got a moment for Neek. Not a moment.
Not one moment. Am I losing my mind? So
you arguing about playoff moments? Is that what we're doing right now?
That's exactly what we're doing. So did I not witness in 1988 Bird and Neek play one-on-one in the fourth quarter?
Because you.
He definitely witnessed it.
I 100% saw Bird and Dominique Wilkins play one-on-one. It wasn't the Celtics against the Atlanta Hawks. It was Neek against Larry Bird one-on-one in the fourth quarter in 1988. I saw that. And
who Carmelo beat?
A lot of people. Dirk. Huh. Dirk. How about that? Huh? Chris Paul?
Crazy with this, bro.
Huh? Chris?
Beating Chris Paul in the playoffs?
Chris Paul was nasty in the playoffs.
I can do
that. Big Ox.
I was just about to say Ox because he just brought up Dirk, and I don't know if you know this, Swiper, but every team has a nemesis. And those bad boy Pistons, their problem was the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh my gosh.
Their problem was the Atlanta Hawks. Yes.
My problem.
Dominique Wilkins and Atlanta Hawks did show the bad boys the door. Yes, they did. 100%. So just like
where did you have Dominique? Where did you have Dominique?
I think I had Dominique at 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a disconnect. Yeah, there's a disconnect here. Yeah.
I had him at 9.
So this is my thing, because typically I don't never complain about the list, especially lists that we do all together, because nobody's going to be satisfied. But this is, I think, where I cross the line. This is where I put my foot down, and I just let y'all know that this is complete bullshit. I don't want to look, Ron. I don't want to live in the virtual world where Dominique Wilkins is in the top 10 small forward all the time. All right?
Well, I'm looking at my list. I'm extremely comfortable.
I do not want to be in. I don't want to exist in a YouTube world where Dominique Wilkins is in the top 10 small forward all the time. I feel like that's throwing off something like this whole. I don't know the terminology.
You're gonna be mad that I got a white boy ahead of him.
But I feel like what'd you say?
I got 3 of them.
There's another white guy. You got three white guys?
I know there's 2 of them, but 3.
I got 3. Yes.
Who's the third?
Ox, I think the word.
We gonna get to it.
I got him in the same tier. I had the third one and him in the same tier for sure.
Ox, you talking about the cause and effect, like that's off, and the cosmos, all of that stuff.
It's just gonna throw off the top. Like y'all seen that movie, The Butterfly Effect? I feel like y'all went back in time and changed something, and now y'all just ruined everything. Like something's gonna. This is bad, Ron. This is really bad.
What I'm saying is, I gotta go back in time because I made a mistake, y'all.
Oh, he did make it?
I turn the ball over sometimes. I'm an L host. We used to this, okay? We used to this. We already here, chat. You guys know what's going on here. But I jumped the gun when I said Dominique Wilkins, because he actually is a person ahead. Who I forgot was Rick Barry.
Wait, what are you saying?
So
Rick Barry.
Rick Barry was the honorable mention. And Dominic
yes.
Oh,
well,
I had Rick Barry on my list.
Oh, thank
that was,
God.
I guess, the other white guy. That.
Yeah, Rick Barry cold. He had a cold.
Shout out
career.
Rick Barry. I love Rick Barry, but I can live with
I
this.
had
I can
Rick
live with this.
Yeah, people. I know I had Rick Barry the highest.
Probably.
There's no
Oh,
way
you got Rick Barry. Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
You had him at 6.
Yes.
Okay, I had Rick Barry at 9.
I got Rick Barry behind Mello, like he should be.
There's no part of me that's like, yeah, Neek over Rick Barry. Like that wasn't even a thought for me. So yeah,
we were the only
cold.
3. Mars and Swipe. We were the only 3 that had Rick Barry.
Oh, really?
Oh, Swipey.
Rick is cold. Rick,
Yeah,
I'm surprised. Rick was cold.
Nah, they be forgetting about Rick Barry.
I had him at 10.
I would have had him higher if he
then-
go to the ABA.
I had him at 10, and then I forgot about somebody, so I had to move him down.
Wait, hold on. And I don't want to. Ron, I'm telling you right now. If I'm glad I'm off tomorrow because I feel like I'm about to lose my mind today, and I need a break. And me and Chill been salsa dancing this weekend, so I don't need to be dealing with all this nonsense. So, are you telling me that the truth is on this list?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what that means. Yes.
I don't know. All I know is that Rick Barry.
He had no motion in the 2000s. Nobody brings up his highlights. Nobody brings up his game. But he's a top 10 small forward all time over these people. No motion whatsoever.
I mean, I wouldn't have him over Rick Barry, but Rick Barry just began disrespected. So
Chill. Did you have Paul Pierce on yours?
I did not have Paul Pierce on
I'm
the
about to
list.
say, who put him on the list?
No, I did not.
Swiper, hold on. We'll
I
get
for
to
sure
there
have
if he's
Okay.
on there. We'll
Okay.
get to there.
Okay.
I
But
for sure have Paul Pierce.
I want to continue to give Rick Barry
Not
his
putting
flowers.
Paul Pierce on the list is crazy, but
Rick
No,
Barry
but
was a
who-
one-time
he-
champ, a Finals MVP, 6 All-NBAs, 12 All-Stars.
He was great.
A scoring champ, a steals champ, was also 4 All-ABAs, which totals the 10. So 6 All-NBAs, 4 All-ABAs, and he's also in the 25.
What year did Rick Barry win the championship?
75.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't leave out, Ron. When he retired, he was the all-time lead in free throw percentage in NBA history.
Yeah.
And he shot underhanded.
Sniper.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I feel like the only reason Rick Barry isn't on everyone's list is because they don't care about his era. That's the only explanation I have. Because there's no way you don't.
Same with the Bill Walton conversation as well.
But at least Bill Walton, you got the longevity thing. I understand. Like, Rick Barry did it for a long enough time. He was elite. He was the best small forward in the league. He could shoot. He could pass. He was playing defense. Like, there was nothing Rick Barry wasn't doing. He was also being racist. So, like, you got all of it. Like, you got all of that for that time period. It's what it is, man. Rick Barry gonna stay underrated.
shout
I
out
had him
Rick
number
Barry.
6. Yeah, I had him number 6. So I guess I'm like Rick Barry.
Rick Barry on that 2000 Celtics team. They won multiple titles, by the way, just to be clear.
Oh yeah,
No.
Who
hear that?
comes?
Y'all hear that bell?
I'm not doing all that.
Ox, you hear that bell? They didn't train this dog how to use the bell, and he just be wanting to go out.
that's fine.
That's crazy. Well,
I kept hearing that, and I'm like, I know I ain't at the 7-Eleven.
And Swiper, get up and let me out before he comes.
No, he already went out. He already went out.
You go out once, you don't go out again.
All right, Sniper, I'm gonna call Peter on you.
No, I'm a dog person. Y'all know I got that huge animal at the crib that I miss dearly, y'all. I mean, they been sending me pictures and all that stuff.
Sniper, you wanted them uncles that treat your kids better than your nieces and nephews. You ain't cool.
Treat my kids.
Mars, is it fair? Is it fair to say?
You know what I'm saying? Like you know how you go when you go to that one uncle house and he the uncle that just love his kids, but he think his kids
Ox,
better.
I'm
than
telling you
everybody
this right
else
now.
kids.
You think I'm playing? If you ever
Man, let
needed
the dog
somebody,
out, man.
if you ever needed somebody in your and not in your bloodline to take care of your kids for a week, make sure they were straight, bro, I tell you, your kids will have the best time with me. They would have structure. It would be fun. We would go places. I would take them to the aquarium in Atlanta. We go to the Coca-Cola Center, bro. Like I'm telling you, bro.
I don't doubt that.
Excuse me. Locked in. Bless you, Chill.
I got you too, Ox. If you need to send him up to Seattle for a week.
Nah. Don't send them to Ox. Don't send them.
Yeah, Ron.
I'm just trying to be a helping friend. But let's.
Ron's about my kids.
What I wanted to ask about Rick Barry, Mars, as good as Rick Barry was, I mean, and I almost equate it to the Doc situation. Do you think the ABA got his best years?
Oh my gosh, yeah. But Doc's still gonna be high on this list.
But Doc,
yeah.
but I feel like the difference with Doc was still awesome. Like when Doc showed up, he still was awesome for a bunch of years.
Rick Barry was still good for he started in the NBA.
Sure.
Then he had like his little issue where he
to
couldn't play anywhere because
Right.
contract disputes and stuff. And then he was in the ABA for like 4 or 5 years, and then he was in the NBA and he was good for like another like 3, 4, 5 years.
That's what I'm talking about, Mars.
Like,
Is
he
that
was good,
long
but, like,
enough?
okay, spoiler, he would have been number 5 if he was in the NBA the whole time.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
That's
talking
where I
about.
would have
Mars.
had him. I
That's
would have
what
had him
mean when
at
I
5.
say
So he's
those
below my
ABA
number
years.
5 solely because of the ABA years.
I'm not gonna lie though.
Because I haven't seen enough, and B is like,
Yeah.
meh. But I would have had him at 5 if he was in the NBA the whole time. That's
Chill,
how good I
if-
think Rick Barry is.
If Julius, if he had more NBA seasons, he could be higher, even higher than he is. But I think
Even
we're going to
Doc
get to
would've
him in a
came
minute.
right out of college and went right to the
Yeah,
NBA.
his ABA versus NBA, like
We
his,
having a way
his
different
resume.
conversation about
He might be number 2 for me.
Could be, but
Mm.
it would take a lot to jump too. But he
Shit, Doc
could've.
was nice. Like,
as hell.
Shout out to Rick Barry there, man. Snub.
Can't hear you, Ron. Your mic is muted, Ron. We can't hear you. Focus.
I brought up Dominique Wilkins, right? And remember, I told you guys that there is a tie for 10th place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dominique happens to be one of them. Would you guys like to take a stab at who the other one may be?
Paul Pierce.
I assume Paul Pierce.
James Worthy.
Yeah, great player. But how?
So
So,
now
we're
we-
saying Paul Pierce was better than James Worthy? That's not-
We're not saying that, Swiper. We all we're saying is that we have a tie for 10th place, and it's James Worthy.
That laugh was so sinister. That laugh was like, really?
It is James Worthy and it's Dominique Wilkins. You guys are humoring Swiper right now.
No, that laugh was so sinister. Like, are we saying this?
I tell you, you play in Boston, bro. You gonna get all the love, and one of them deserves it. But this guy,
Mhm.
I think your problem with Paul Pierce is that he used to cook Melo. Is that it?
he did win.
Oh my God! Why are we talking
When-
about Paul Pierce? His name hasn't even come up yet.
Right.
Fellas.
I'm just tired of the Paul Pierce. Hey, it's pissing me off.
Hey.
But I feel like James Worthy's a little low right now. Y'all know I
He is
feel about
low.
James Worthy. I'm a big James Worthy guy.
Worthy.
I ain't have him on my list, so
There you go.
James
Yeah, there it is.
Worthy.
All right, I gotta
used to
go around the
love
room.
how to say
Chill
his name.
town. I'm gonna start with you, Dominique Wilkins or James Worthy. Who are you taking?
Neek. And I'm taking Neek off the strength of, damn. I mean, Doc Rivers said it best. The difference between James Worthy and Dominique Wilkins is Dominique had me and James had magic. He said that's the difference. And he may be right. So with that being said, I think Neek was better in transition. I think he was a better one-on-one scorer. I think he was a better athlete. I think James was as good a transition player, but I think Neek was better at the rim finishing. And those two guys were the same size. I feel like Neek was a little bit better on the perimeter, and I think his mid-range was better. And I think the separator between those two, I mean, don't get me wrong, James Worthy, wait a minute, I got this wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got this wrong because I got James Worthy ahead of Dominique Wilkins on my list. Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, I'm bugging. I got James Worthy ahead of Dominique Wilkins on my list. I'm wild as hell. No,
I'm so
Yeah.
confused.
yeah, I got James Worthy ahead of Dominique Wilkins on my list. And the reason why I just made an argument for Dominique Wilkins, but I got to completely shut that down because James Worthy was there's a reason why they call him Big Game James. That's not a self-proclaimed name. James Worthy was 100% the biggest in big games, great in transition. I think Neek was better in transition, but I think James Worthy was great in transition, great one-on-one player, great in big games. And he was awesome for a long time, not only as a bucket getter, but also as a rebounder. And he won. Yeah, I'm bugging,
All right.
Mars. My fault. I'm tripping. I'm like, wait a minute. I had to look at my list. Like, wait a minute. I got James Worthy ahead of Dominique Wilkins. I'm bugging.
Oh,
So
my
yeah. Yes.
Swiper, talk to me. Who you got, James or Neek?
T-Mac versus Kobe. I have James Worthy. I think James Worthy proved himself in multiple NBA Finals runs, including playing on teams with other all-time great players and getting Finals MVP, and also being a great All-NBA player, great scorer, great defender, really good rebounder as well, and also to help define a generation for basketball, unlike Dominique Wilkins, whose best highlights to this day are going to be playing in the dunk contest and matching up versus Michael Jordan in certain games. So James Worthy, for me, definitely is on this list. I think that if we had a little bit closer, like they played in the 2000s, I think people will see there's a pretty certified gap between the players, but I think it's just, people just didn't watch him a lot. James was like out of UNC was the guy. Like he was the guy, and he was a very good player. He just went to a stacked team in a great situation, but James Worthy was a baller, like a legitimate great player.
Okay,
but
go ahead, Chill.
The problem I'm having with Swiper Logic is he keep talking about Dominique Wilkins like Dominique Wilkins wasn't great in the playoffs. Yes, he was. He got busy in the playoffs. So we got to stop saying that's not to say that James Worthy. That's not to say that James Worthy wasn't awesome in the playoffs, because yes, he was. Again, that's where he got the name Big Game James. When the competition got better, he got better. But Dominique has had moments in the playoffs where he was awesome. Yes, he did. And I've seen moments where he was awesome. So he just kept running into teams like the Bulls. He kept running into the Celtics, and they just weren't better than them. And the fact that James Worthy was on that Laker team that was just better than everybody and a lesser Western Conference during that time, I mean, I think that was to his betterment. But Dominique Wilkins, he definitely had moments in the playoffs where he was awesome. I'm not doing that.
Shout out to Dominique Wilkins' moments.
Mars,
that's all I'm arguing.
Talk to me. Who do you have and why?
Oh, well, yeah, neither of them were on my list, but I've said many times, I think James Worthy is the better player. I think Dominique put up more points, but I still think James Worthy is probably the better scorer, more consistent. I think he was better with his back to the basket. I think he was better in isolation. I think he was clearly the better defender, clearly the better passer. Dominique was more of a play finisher than James Worthy was. James Worthy could actually do more with the ball in his hands, in my opinion. Someone said James Worthy was a weak rebounder for his size. I don't know what numbers he put up rebounds and wise, but the reason he didn't get as many rebounds as maybe you would like is because he was tasked with guarding on the perimeter. And when the Lakers got stops, he was running the floor. He wasn't tasked with rebounding because Magic Johnson was down there, Kareem was down there, other people were down there, and James Worthy was at his best in transition. So because he's guarding on the perimeter and is further away from the basket, he's not coming back to crash. He was there running the floor, filling the lanes, and that's why he didn't get as many rebounds as you maybe would have liked. It wasn't an inability, it was about just being more beneficial for him to fill the lanes and run the floor. So that's why you need to watch the games and understand why those numbers are coming about. But yeah, I think James Worthy is clearly the better player. And those Dominique Wilkins playoff moments, while true, statistically, he was never efficient in the playoffs once, statistically. Now, did he have moments? Absolutely, yes. But statistically, inefficient more often than not. And I'm just not as high on Dominique based on the raw scoring numbers. And he took a lot more jump shots than people like to admit. And I think that dragged down his efficiency. He really settled for a lot of jump shots, which he was okay at, but he wasn't great at. So yeah, Dominique didn't make my list. Neither did Worthy, but I think Worthy is substantially the better player, personally.
All right, y'all. That is that. We got all the fellas' opinions on Oh, my bad, Big.
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh, y'all want to hear Big Ox's opinion?
Always, man. Very valuable opinion.
My bad, Chad. I'm sorry.
I just want to put it out there, Ox. This is your man right here. This is your
Ox.
man. I just want to put
Ox, next time he do that to you, just like when he did the show earlier.
There he is.
Next time he do that to you, Ox, tell him to pull back. Just tell him to pull back. You want to yap.
You'll swipe. You know what? You got it, Big Ox. Don't tell me to pull back. My bad. Go ahead. Do your thing. James Worthy, Dominique Wilkins. Who would you choose?
James Worthy.
So it's a James Worthy sweep.
Mm-hmm. Rightfully so.
The chat chose James Worthy as well. So, well, hold on though. But you still, Ox, you still type that Dominique's not on this list though.
He is on the list, isn't he?
No. Well, now he's not. He's going to be 11 because we just split the time.
Tough shit. It's James Worthy.
Oh, so now it's cool. Okay.
I mean, I still don't. Like I said, I still don't want to live in a world where Dominique Wilkins is in the top 10 small forward all time. But if it has to be him or James Worthy,
But when we get deeper in the list, Ox, you can see that somebody might have to come off for Neek. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I know for a fact somebody's come off.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Ox hasn't put the older guys. I'm pretty sure that's what's happened and how he's got Dominique. I'm assuming. Right. So it makes sense for Ox.
I just got to see who else is on this list now because there's so many names that have been already. So I'm just confused. Like, what's going on here?
Well, big shout out to Damo. And big shout out to Dominique Wilkins, 9-time All-Star, 7 All-NBA, a scoring champ, and he had 11 seasons, averaging 25 plus. Big shout out to the human highlight reel.
Mars,
definitely all-time great.
Who do you think was chasing Jordan all them years when Jordan was averaging 37 and 35 for the scoring championship?
I mean, I know Dominique was scoring.
He was a bucket getter. Now, in terms of the passing, I mean, I can, and I'm not going to argue because I think James Worthy is better. But I mean, I think Neek, as a jump shooter, I think he was better than people give him credit for. But a lot of people just seen the highlights of him dunking on guys and getting to the rim. That's mostly what people saw. They didn't really see much of him getting on the wing, going by guys with the right hand. He was very right-handed. He could use his weak hand, but he was very right-handed. Unlike James Worthy. James Worthy definitely went to the left. He went to his weak hand a lot more.
There's a reason he never shot 50% from the field. I'm not saying that to knock him because I don't care about field goal percentage. But it's because he wasn't just running and dunking, like people seem to think. That's why he wasn't shooting 50% from the field. He took a lot of jump shots. A lot.
All right, fellas, before we move on, just a moment, yo. I got to take a second to acknowledge the good old PCL, which is coming on September 4th. We got some star-studded matchups on September 4th. I can't wait. The topics have been issued. The matches have been set. The dates and the times at 7:30 Eastern time on Wednesday, September 4th. On the round of 16, we will have Mars versus Jack Cody. And then at 8:15 Eastern time on September 4th, we'll have Penn versus Hayes. And then at 9 Eastern time, we'll have Pirate versus Casual. And then to cap off the night, we will definitely have a good one with Chilltown versus OG the Beast at 9:45 Eastern time. Chill, Mars, how do you guys feel about your topics?
Let me just make sure that I remember them. Yeah, I think they're cool. I think they're cool topics.
More satisfied with the topics?
Well, yeah, he made us fill out that long ass survey.
That was crazy. I was like, bro,
50. Like, I was like, it's still going. Like, damn, but I think he's
going survey. That's what I was saying the whole time. Keep going.
I think these topics are cool. I think they're close enough to where like you can debate both sides, but I also feel like I have sides that I'm comfortable debating with. So I'm perfectly fine with these topics. If I lose,
Mars, I would rather take bad topics than fill out that damn survey.
Yeah, that survey was long. And some of them I didn't even know. I'm pretty sure I just said I don't even know. Like for some of them, I was like, I don't know the answer to this. I don't know what I feel, so I just didn't answer. But yeah,
Chill, you good to go? You ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it. Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I do have one topic that I got to put on some extra body gear because I don't know how I'm gonna sell it, but I think I can. Mm-hmm.
So those are the Wednesday matchups. Also on Sunday, September 8th, we have another 4 matchups in the round of 16. We will kick off at 6 p.m. Eastern with Swiper versus ZZ. Then at 6:45, it will be Dion, the kid Dion from Ohio, versus M-Tail. And then at 7:30 Eastern time, we'll have Elder Rufus versus John D. And then ending the night at 8:15 Eastern time, we will have Big Ox Bob versus Gifted. So I'm excited for this. I think both slates of matchups will be amazing. And I can't wait to see, because as much as I think all 4 of you guys are going to win, just the way life works. I have a feeling that somebody is not going to represent the panel properly. So we'll just have to see, y'all. That next Monday, September 9th, it will be a fun day because we'll all be up here, and I can't wait to recap the first round of the playoffs. But all right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get back into this list, top 10 small forwards all time, you guys make sure that you slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you be a Hall of Famer, like our newest Hall of Fame member, Hutton Gilgris. Shout out to Hutton, man. Appreciate you for joining up. Let's go ahead and do it, fellas. Let's do it. Actually, before we do this, I want to read a couple super chats. Worldwide May said, so we were just going to act like the Celtics didn't get better last night. Of course, Swipe and Ron are quiet. Cook up, chill. Repeat season loading.
Oh, Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie Walker?
Yeah, the
Good
Celtics
rotational
signed
player.
Lonnie Walker.
Good player.
He's still got to make the crew. I think he's going to make the team.
He's going to make the team, but that's not the biggest Celtic news to come out. You know, Jason Tatum had a special release interview that came out today with The Athletic that I thought we were going to talk about. That I don't know if you read.
I did not know about this. This is news.
It's a good article. I sent it to Ron before the show.
I did not get it.
Yeah, but you know he don't be hosting for us.
Right.
What happened in the article?
I would have.
Look, he didn't even click the link that you sent, Swipe. He didn't even click it.
I would have liked that. I would have liked to have talked.
Read at 9:51 too.
And he ain't even open. He was like, "Oh, Swipe."
Wait. What time does the show start?
10 o'clock.
Oh
No.
No.
You read it at 9:51. That doesn't that's the difference.
The show started at 10.
I sent it at 9:47 for you to skim over. It's a 6-minute read, if that.
Yeah, but for
It's
Ron, that's
Swiper.
like a 16-minute read.
Exactly. So not only is that Swiper, you see, I had to put the panel logo at the bottom of the screen, and I had to put the PCL. I had to try to wake Big Ox up. I had to make sure Mars was locked in.
I did all of that stuff.
Ox, did he have to get you up, Ox? Do we have to?
That's just crazy cut. I came in this room first, and I changed it from the PC breaking background to the panel one, and I'm the one who put this little PCL logo. So him just trying to lie is crazy.
Now chat.
No,
do what
I
y'all was doing to me
since
earlier. Call
yesterday.
Mars a snitch.
Do what you're trying to lie is crazy. No, you're not going to take credit for my work. You're not going to take credit for my work. I'm the one who went.
So Mars already handled that. Ox ain't talked to you since yesterday, right? Ox talked to you yesterday. You didn't talk to Ox today. Mars already handled that. Ron,
just say you ain't want to read the article. Right?
Nah,
terrible.
I was making coffee. I had to make sure I was locked.
And then I saw y'all announce the NBA show yesterday, like they're doing quarterbacks and receivers. What's the show called, y'all?
What's up?
Starting Five.
Oh, the Netflix thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
So you know about Starting Five?
I do know about it.
It's Domantas Sabonis' show.
Yeah,
it could end up being. You never know who the personality.
Yeah, you don't know. Maybe he's got the most personality of all of them. Yeah.
I know.
I really can't wait to see what type of guy Domantas is, because we know all the other guys, but we don't really know who Sabonis is.
That's because y'all don't want to know.
We got a bunch of yappers that are already on the list, and so Domantas is going to be interesting. Ant's going to be Ant.
He's a professional. He's a family man, all around good guy. You know, my type of fella, man.
There's a way Tatum can win me over. I'll tell you that much. There's a way Tatum can win me over, Chill.
What is that?
I'm just like I said yesterday, like we know LeBron. We've been seeing LeBron every day for 30 years.
Yeah, too long, man.
30 years. God damn, that's a long time.
But hold on, though, Swiper.
25 years
JT
legit.
Win you over?
Huh?
How can JT win you over?
Man, first off, man, I'm just, JT's the top 8-9 player in the league. He's my dog. He's a really good player. You know what I mean? He just has things to work on. And then, if I see JT working on his jump shot and also, he put LMA on the screen, man, what's up? Let's talk. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog.
Is that what you call it? That's the booed up chick?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's her? Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes,
she ain't Savannah, but
good Lord.
Oh my God. Can we get to number 9 on the list?
I'm not gonna lie. Knowing somebody since you're 15 years old, be locked in with them that long, ain't nobody. There's not a lot of Savannahs. I mean, knowing somebody that long, I would love that. Me personally, Mars. If I could have met my sweetheart when I was 15 years old and been locked in, I would have loved that.
Love that. That's so dope.
So number 9.
Man, Mars, you ain't talking about long. Every time we talk about love,
and for the record, I know a lot of you dudes, because I can definitely attest to that too. You dudes met your Savannah, you just let her walk out the door.
Somebody give my snap
I've been on my girl since I was 13.
There's your Savannah. There you go.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I met Sanaa Lathan when I was 9. It still ain't manifested yet, but.
Sorry.
What? Yo, she's 50, man.
So
you were 9 and she was what? You met her and now you think that like what's
Sanaa Lathan, bro?
Nah, Swiper, I feel the same way about Lisa Ray.
but hold on.
Lisa
You lie to
Ray?
me.
Sure, you remember
Ray is
Diamond.
60.
You remember Diamond.
Lie to me and say Regina Hall, Sanaa Lathan, and the rest of them. Lie to me. No,
Nia Long. Nia Long. I'm just saying, like, if I
you
would've
saw
met
Best
Nia Long-
Man. You seen Best Man the same time I did in '96.
Right, Chip. What I'm saying, Swiper, is this: if like, I thought you meant you actually met her before, and like
I did.
Okay, so what I'm saying is you were 9 years old. She was in her late 20s. What did
Nah,
you think
bro.
was gonna
I was like
happen?
105 pounds at 9, bro. I was already like I had a little fuzz. Like I was already coming up.
Yeah,
feel me?
she's a grown woman. She knows that you relax.
Okay, Ron, here we go. Number 9. Where we at, Ron?
All right,
Number 9.
But before we get into that, I want to read my man Hutton Gilgaris super chat or members chat and his introduction to the Hall of Fame. He said, was Joe Johnson an underrated bucket getter / scorer? What do you think, Chill and Mars? Which means Swiping, Ox, and myself. Mute your mic.
I don't think he was an underrated bucket getter. There's a reason why they called him ISO Joe. I mean, they called him ISO Joe for that reason. He was one of the best bucket getters in the game during that time. So you're talking about at his height, which was probably 2000, I guess I'm going to say 2007 to probably 2013. But I mean, he wasn't better than James as a bucket getter. James Harden. He wasn't better than Kobe. He wasn't better than Dirk. He wasn't better than Carmelo Anthony, guys like that. So when you talk about him being an underrated bucket getter, it depends on where you have him rated. He was definitely one of the better bucket getters during that time. I mean, he had a great game particularly on the right wing where he can get by guys, left to right crossover. His weak hand was really good. He had a money mid-range game. He could also shoot the three. And I watched him plenty of times when he played for the Atlanta Hawks where he would just snatch Dwayne Wade and take him right down to the block and just abuse him. So he was versatile in that aspect. But in terms of an underrated scorer and a bucket getter, it depends on where you have him rated.
He's one of the more versatile scorers. And that's when we talk about bucket again. That's what it's about, versatility, being able to score from anywhere on the court. There wasn't really anywhere Joe Johnson wasn't comfortable scoring from, whether that's getting to the rim off a blow by or posting up and spinning off you or posting up fadeaways, one dribble pull-ups in the mid-range. He loved that. That was yeah. And then he can make threes off the bounce. He can make threes off the catch. There wasn't anywhere Joe Johnson couldn't score. Right. So in that aspect, do I think he gets brought up enough in terms of the versatility? Probably not. But if you're actually saying is he better than this guy? I'd have to know where you gauge him. But I do think he is one of the more slept on, underappreciated, versatile scorers of that time frame, that period. Mm-hmm. But he's not going to make the top 10 small forward list. Spoiler.
No, he's not. Nope,
yeah,
he is not.
Spoiler. Yeah.
Sorry, he is not, unfortunately.
Well, we do know who is at 10 as of right now. We got good old James Worthy, a 3-time champ, 1-time finals MVP, 7-time All-Star, and 2-time All-NBA. Is there anything else that you guys would like to say more about James Worthy before we move on to 9?
Okay, hold on. Before you go any further, can you put another ring on my let's see. I just want to make sure that I remember this. 3-time champ. He broke his leg in '83. That's why they lost to the Sixers. Yeah, he wasn't available. So they won it in '85. They won
87 and 88.
And then they lost in '89. So 3-time champ.
And they lost in '91.
I just want to make sure we got that right. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what's going on, Jordan? Welcome to the show.
All right, I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back.
You good?
What's going on?
Real coach traveling. Look, you in a hotel room and everything traveling. That's what I like to see.
No. My Wi-Fi was tripping, man. I had to come to the lobby to get some signal. My Wi-Fi was going on and off, man. I was in the house.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. Yo, Jordan, you missed a couple things. It was a few honorable mentions. I'll just run by you, and to everybody that's in here, run you guys down, the people that didn't make the list, unfortunately. So some of these guys happen to be Bernard King. Jordan, I know you had him on your list.
Yeah, I did.
Alex English, Elgin Baylor, Rick Barry, and there was a tie for 10th place between Dominique Wilkins and James Worthy. Who do you think won that? Or who would you have taken?
I would have took Dominique Wilkins.
Okay. You actually are the only guy up here who took Dominique Wilkins. Everybody else took James Worthy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I would take Dominique. I think Dominique just got a superstar skill set. Not saying James Worthy don't, but I just believe that Dominique has more of a superstar skill set than James Worthy do.
Was Dominique on your list?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should have never came to Dominique between Dominique and James Worthy for the 10th spot. These two
should already be on the list.
Comfortably on this list.
They should
Both of them.
already be on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have James Worthy, but I should have had him as an honorable mention. I think I just forgot. Really.
Nice.
All right. Well, moving along to number 9. Swiper, your worst nightmare. Paul Pierce has made the list at number 9. How are we feeling about that?
That's where I had him. I had him at 9. That's where I had him.
I had him at 8.
Yeah, I had him at 9. So
should I had him at 10?
So we kind of close.
Damn, you had him lower than us.
Yes.
Hey, why y'all didn't have Bernard King on the list? What's wrong with Bernard King? For me,
longevity
he
was the thing for me.
Yeah, for me, he had 10 because he just didn't win enough. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, mine was just longevity. That was it. If you stay
what about why is Paul Pierce? I mean, because I can appreciate Paul Pierce from anywhere like 8 to 11, like around that time. What about Amaz that puts him as a top 10 small forward all times? Why is he on the list?
I think in terms of just at their apex, I don't think he was probably as good as a few people, but in terms of just how long he was able to sustain high level value, I think he gets slept on. He came into the league in 97, 98, my fault. And he was really good until like 2012, 2013. Like that's like 15 years. He was usually always available. And people forget, similar to like Dirk Nowitzki, young Paul Pierce was getting to the rim. Like that was his score in Arsenal. His score in Arsenal was about getting to the basket. He was a slasher. He wasn't like beating you with speeds, but he was getting to the rim. He was crafty. And then adding that outside shot, adding that post game, all of those things just to sustain his career and really help him elevate in terms of like being just a more consistent threat, especially in the postseason. Just having that level of versatility. He could pass like really, really well, like underrated passer in my opinion. The only thing I don't think he was really, really good at was defensively, but just in terms of the creativity of a scorer, a lot of like the things you see now is like Paul Pierce used to use a lot of those things to create separation because he wasn't the most athletically inclined. So like, I just think Paul Pierce gets slept on. I don't care what the perspective of him was in the 2000s. Spoiler alert, I wasn't the one watching at the time. So all of this is from me going back and watching it. And I think Paul Pierce is one of the 10 best small forwards of all time. It's just really, really talented, really underrated. I think people hate him because of all the stuff he said about LeBron too. I think that's part of it. People hate him because of the stuff he said post-career. But like
three more days. Three more days.
That doesn't take away from him. Oh, until they back to school?
Yes.
My grandmother told me what's the 3 greatest words in the English language. I said I love you. She said no, go to school. Go your ass to school.
That's crazy.
Go your ass to school. So now when I think and Mars, you brought up Paul Pierce during that time when we're talking about a small forward, like the value that he brought, and he had that stretch from probably 2000 maybe 5 to 2007 where they didn't do much. The Celtics didn't do much. I mean, they ended up they were a bad team. Yeah, they ended up disbanding that unit. They were in the East Finals. I didn't think they were that far away, to be honest with you, with Kenny Anderson and Antoine Walker. I didn't think that they were that far away. But when you think about the small forwards during that time with him, Dirk Nowitzki, Garnett wasn't a small forward. Carmelo Anthony. Was it a weak small forward era? You got Dirk, but Dirk played the power. Garnett played the power. Tracy McGrady played the 2. I thought Tracy McGrady was a 3 actually.
Yeah. But he used to match up with these guys though. He used to match up with T-Mac. He used to match up with D-Wade. He used to match up with Kobe. He used to match up with Melo. Vince Carter. He used to match up with all these guys. So it's like regardless if there was a 2 or the 3 and sometimes the 4, they would still all see each other. You know what I mean? So that's the problem with Paul Pierce.
So he had to see Sean Marion. He had to see Meta, right? He had to see Sean Marion. He had to see Meta. He had to see Mashburn, right? He had to see
Corey Maggette, Al Harrington, all these dudes. He was matched up with all these guys, whether they were the 2, 3, or the 4. They were a little smaller than him and faster than him, or whether they were bigger and stronger than him. He had to fade everybody, and he took every single fade. It's not like you can't go back and look at it and be like, "Oh, Kobe used to kill Paulie." Like, no, that's not true. You can't say Melo used to kill Paulie. You can't say Bron used to kill Paulie. Everything they was giving him, he was giving right back. Everything. for all of them.
Until Bron ascended, I think he was the best small forward in the league. Like, I don't think there was really any flaws in his game, personally. Like, there was things he wasn't elite at, but like even defensively, where I think that's where he fell shortest. He used his size well in terms of just being able to like bother people on the outside. He wasn't like the most explosive, so he wasn't going to offer much rim protection and stuff. But on the ball, he was capable. Similar to what Ox said, like he took matchups. He didn't run away from matchups. And then as a scorer, like there wasn't really anything he couldn't do. Like the only thing I would say is like he wasn't going to be an overwhelming post player in terms of like physicality. But in terms of like abusing mismatches, moving off the ball, being constantly active and getting into spots in the defense that are dangerous, like he did all of those things. He worked on the ball, he worked off the ball. Like he's like the prototypical small forward, in my opinion. He does a little bit of everything and he's really good playing off of people, but he can also initiate for you. Like, I don't know why he wouldn't be on the list personally.
I just remember
I'll tell you, Mars. I'll tell you real quick. I'll tell you. It's because especially nowadays, people are so swayed by words and what somebody said in the interview or it's Draymond Green, you know, with the you're not Kobe, you're not going to get the farewell tour. After that, everybody all of a sudden just, oh yeah, Paul Pierce, he thinks he's Kobe Bryant, he's weak, he sucks, or he thinks he's better than D Wade. Paul Pierce has every right to think that he had a better career than Dwayne Wade. Paul Pierce has every right to believe that. There's no reason Paul Pierce should think that Dwayne Wade was better than him. No reason.
I just don't get, like, I spoiler alert for the two guys. I don't agree. I think Dwayne Wade was the better player. But I'm not going to use the stuff he said post-career to knock him as the player. He could have said he's the best small forward ever. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, he's not top 10 now. Like, I think that's stupid. I'm just judging him as a player. I don't care what he believes about himself. He said a lot of things that I don't agree with in terms of how he views himself as a player. But that doesn't change the fact that he was still really, really good as a player. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, he's really not that good because he thinks he's better than Dwayne Wade. No. How good do I think he is? And I think he's a top 10 small forward of all time. And for me, not having him there, I can understand it in terms of like you value James Worthy or Nick a bit more. For me, Rick Barry should be on the list. But like for me, he has to be close to the top 10, like 11, like ish at worst.
Who had him like lower than like who had him?
I didn't have him in the top 10. I didn't. I didn't have him in the top 10.
What was y'all reason for why y'all didn't have him? I know I heard his reason for why he does have him, but what was his reason for why he don't have him?
I had Carmelo Anthony ahead of him, and I feel like Carmelo Anthony did very much similar to what Paul Pierce did, but I feel like he was better as a bucket getter. Not just being better as a bucket getter. I think that offensively, I think that he was fantastic as a rebounder. Carmelo Anthony was great. I don't think that he was as good as Paul Pierce as a defender, but I do think that Paul Pierce benefited from getting on the team with KG, from getting on the team with Rondo. I think he did benefit from that and having those guys for as long as he did. So I really think that enhanced his game as opposed to Carmelo Anthony, who when he got Allen Iverson, I feel like the shift in Denver had changed as opposed to if he'd had Chauncey Billups for 4 or 5 years, how much better he would have been, because I think the dynamic of that team would have been much better. I think they would have went to him more. Not only would they have gone to him more with George Karl with that offense, I feel like that he would have been better as a one-on-one player and as a scorer because that offense would have been more catered around him. And I feel like he would have been more tuned in as a defender. But that doesn't take away from how good Paul Pierce was as a player. I just think Carmelo Anthony was better.
Swiper, Pierce or Melo? Who you taking?
Melo. I'm not. Everybody knows how I feel about this, so Melo wasn't. Paul Pierce wasn't even on my conversation when the whole time I was watching both of their careers. But that was just me.
Was it? But now, what I don't want to do, Swipe, is I don't want to.
I don't
want it to
I
sound
think
like
he was good.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want it to sound like it was just a wash because I don't think Carmelo Anthony was.
He was a great player.
I don't think he clears Paul Pierce.
But
Paul
again,
Pierce
I get Mars's perspective.
There was a time when Paul Pierce, as a bucket getter, it wasn't nobody who could stay in front of him. That includes Bryant.
But again, I respect Mars is 1,000% right about his perspective. He didn't watch it, and so he is analyzing them as basketball players. I get it. I'm just telling you that from my life, from 2010, from the time I was 10, or 2000, from the time I was 10 to when I was 20, from 10 to 0, there was no Carmelo Anthony, Paul Pierce conversation. Not for real. He's a really nice player, really good player, but just from 2003 on, it was Melo. Melo was the dude.
I think that started when he started winning. Whenever he started winning, when he won a championship.
Remember, Melo took Denver to the playoffs his rookie year. After they won 17 games, and then they won 41 or whatever the next year. I can't remember the exact number. Then they have Jeff Bzdelik and George Karl got there, and then from 05 on, it was like Bron, Kobe, Shaq was a whatever. Bron, Kobe, Nash, Dirk, Wade, Melo, Bron. Like that was the league. Like that was like the apex of the league. Those were people that's who you tuned in to watch. Duncan and them, that's who you tuned in to watch. And Melo was consistently considered the best scorer in the game. Like LeBron said it, Kobe said it, everybody said it. The most difficult player for them to deal with and stop was Melo because he was a bulldog and he was quick as lightning. And he got buckets on everybody. And then on top of that, he was a really ferocious rebounder. You know, he was a good passer. He was never like a tremendous passer or anything like that. But literally, like everybody from until Durant got in the league, and I'm telling y'all this, until 2012 when Durant started for the Olympic team. If you ask NBA players, they were consistent.
There was a real conversation.
Melo was like the best scorer in basketball for all of them, including Kobe said the same thing. So I know that Melo like gets overvalued because of like, you know, efficiency and all that kind of stuff. But even that 09 run, Melo cooked Dirk. He cooked the Mavericks. Like
I got Melo a lot higher. I got a Melo a lot higher on my list, which is why you can squeeze Paul Pierce in there. Like,
well, that's the thing. I think that like James Worthy was better than Paul Pierce. I think James Worthy is better than Melo. I think you know, Rick Barry's in the conversation. I think he's better than Paul Pierce. And then we got some other players we're gonna get to.
You think Rick Barry's better than Paul Pierce?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yo, Jordan. Paul Pierce ain't even in my top 15. No, he would be 15. He would be 15. I think. Hey,
He hate Boston smooth forwards. He hate Boston smooth forwards.
No, I don't. Paul Pierce was. Somebody said it in the chat. Paul Pierce would fit into any era, and I think he would seamlessly get buckets in any era. I just don't think he was better than any of these guys. Elgin Baylor, Dominique. I don't think he was better than Dominique. He wasn't a better scorer than Dominique.
What's the cutoff?
Like
Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor played in the 70s.
60s, really. He retired.
60s,
he just had a greater career than Paul Pierce.
Okay.
I didn't watch Elgin Baylor thoroughly like I watched Paul Pierce, but if I'm looking at their careers and what they accomplished in the league, Elgin Baylor did way more.
So Dominique accomplished more than Paul Pierce?
No, they were very similar. Here's the thing. Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen don't come over there. They have a very similar career.
But they did.
So listen to what I'm about to say. Individually, first off, I think Nick had it he was more explosive during his time than Paul Pierce. He was better in the 80s from top to bottom than Paul Pierce was during the 2000s. Now, Paul Pierce does have a ring. He does have a finals MVP. But when it comes to just individual game, Dominique got Paul Pierce.
Individual game, Paul Pierce got Elgin Baylor.
Time for time in their era. In their era for era. Okay. They don't. Yeah, no.
I got Paul Pierce. I got Paul Pierce 8. But part of the reason why I got Paul Pierce 8 is because I think, like you were saying earlier, man, he did a lot of things that went under the radar, like that went fully under the radar. And I guess it's because he was in Boston where they just wasn't winning, or you know, it just wasn't that nice to see what he was doing. But as efficient as a scorer he is, as the game on the line, I can go to him every time. I think like that counts for something. Then plus a championship run, you know, like, and I people talk about his defense. He ain't as bad defender as y'all think he is. He guarded the best player, huh?
Coach,
he was solid. He wasn't a bad defender at all. I think if you think he's a bad defender,
right.
Wrong, yeah.
Coach, when you have a guy on your crew, how do you value a guy? If this is a guy that I can go to for at minimum 3 straight buckets, how do you value that guy?
What do you mean? How do I value him? Like, how would I use him?
Because that's what I mean. How do you value that guy? How do you see him on your crew, just as a coach? That when we get in the meat and potatoes of the game, I got a dude that I could go to for minimum 3 straight buckets.
I see him as like one of the best players on the team. Obviously, I would have him as a priority. And if we, referring this to Paul Pierce, I think Paul Pierce can get it at any level. He's a 3-level scorer, an elite 3-level scorer too. Not just like he's average at this, he's good at it. No, he's elite on all 3 levels. So I think, he's a priority on that team, pretty much.
I can dig that. I just feel like with Carmelo Anthony as a 3-level
he's more
scorer,
elite. Absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking about. When I just think about a bucket getter, just a guy who can score the basketball and how it affects the crew. I don't think that him and Paul Pierce are in that same category. I feel like
I don't think so either. But I have Paul Pierce 4th. But I have Paul Pierce. I have Carmelo Anthony 4th, and I have Paul Pierce 8th. That's the distinction. That's the distinction.
Carmelo 4. But I think
yes,
Melo. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. But Melo being a better scorer than Paul Pierce. I think most people would agree with that. Even someone who would have Paul Pierce over Melo would agree with that. But like, what about the other aspects of the game where I think Paul Pierce is clearly superior, in my opinion?
I think you better rebounder.
I don't think that gap is huge enough for that to be worth much in this conversation.
I think Melo was I think he was not a good off-ball defender because Melo would just lose whatever, like for sure. I think on ball, I really just don't remember Melo just getting beat like on ball, like consistently.
On ball when he's dialed in, because he was strong and he moved. Like Melo, someone I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. Melo for me is like the small forward equivalent of James Harden. And what I mean by that is not in terms of play style.
It's like a big.
They're so big, but they're so fast. I don't understand it. Like James Harden at his apex before the hamstring and stuff, he was bigger and stronger than every guard, but he was quicker than all of them too. Like that's why he was getting to the rim with ease. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can be bigger and stronger than everyone, so you can bully them, but then you just blow by them in one step.
Yeah, the fastest first step in the league, and that's
didn't make Melo doesn't make sense to me when I watch him. I don't understand how that's possible. Like
they did have a quick first step, but a lot of that has to do with strength too. You can blow by somebody by literally going through them. It actually makes it easier if you're strong enough to go through them.
Oh, and Melo had the best ball handling and first step of any wing in the sport, and that includes.
But why? But hold on. But why are we like using Melo as a tool to take Paul Pierce off?
Because Melo's not on the list, and Paul Pierce is. And I think
Melo's not on the list. Ron ain't saying Melo's on honorable mention.
He might be. He might not be. I
don't know. Ron ain't saying Melo was on honorable mention. Melo is on the list. Evidently.
Well, I was just doing math.
Yeah, Swiper, stop crying.
Yeah. Melo.
I'll just go somewhere. That too small jersey. I'm gonna watch who you're talking to, young fella.
This shit ain't too small. It's a perfect size. It's a good fit.
Medium. It's a medium. It's
I would stand up. I got my drawers on.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You on television, bro? Put some clothes on.
This is wild over here. This is what we doing.
Right? Hey, Ron.
Welcome to the show, Coach.
Ron, he said it's wash day, Ron. He said it's wash day.
It ain't wash day. It's just I'm on the West Coast. It's not the same time over here as over there.
Where's everybody at? I'm here.
Welcome to the show, Coach. This is what we do around here.
Yeah.
I live in Atlanta. I'm in Texas. Ox lives in Seattle, California area.
I live in Portland.
Chill is on the East Coast. Huh?
Who else is in Texas?
I'm in Texas right now.
Mars is across the pond.
Allegedly.
Mars is across the pond.
Allegedly.
What part of Texas?
Just in case. What part of Texas, Swiper, if you want to reveal?
I think he's frozen.
Bro, I'm in middle of nowhere, Texas, bro. I'm like 2 hours. I'm 2.5 hours away from Dallas, and I'm in I'm 2 hours away from Waco, Texas, where I went to
shout out DFW.
I can kind of give an idea where you from. I mean, where you at?
There's been more black people out here than I'm used to, and I'm glad about it. I'll say it like that. Good as it's Army town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but my whole argument is like we using, and I guess that's on your list. We using Carmelo Anthony to take Paul Pierce off the list, and I just don't think so. Like, I think Carmelo Anthony is extremely elite, and he needs, obviously people want to talk about he don't have the rings and stuff like that, but that don't mean Paul Pierce can't be on the list. Like you got him at 9, right? Paul Pierce is at 9.
Yeah,
he's on this list currently at 9. Yes,
I have him at 9.
Yeah, I don't think nothing's wrong with that, especially if you're gonna put Elgin Baylor, Rick Barry on there.
Yo, guys, hey.
Better players.
Respect my guy, Rick Barry.
I respect it, but
Elgin Baylor.
They were actually considered the best they position.
I had Elgin Baylor below Paul Pierce, so I had him at 10. So but Rick Barry. Yeah.
I'm just saying that's not crazy for me to say. Dude sent through a super chat addressing that. For me to say I got Elgin Baylor over Paul Pierce, I don't think that's crazy. I just read off he's in a 23K club with points, 11K rebounders, 10 All NBAs, 61 points in the finals, the highest ever, and he went to 8 finals. I'm just like, that is great.
You got Elgin Baylor above Melo?
I'll take that as a no. We can move on, Ron. It's okay, Ron.
That's the problem. It's not adding up. Like, the stuff you're saying is not adding up.
Wait. I do have him above Melo.
Okay, so it's adding up. Consistency. Nice.
But I'm saying, like, I don't even with because you guys know I value championships a lot, but I also value carrying and going to the championship a lot. Like if you don't get a championship, but if you go to a bunch of different finals and you were just you just faced one of them ones,
right?
I will still value that. But
Elgin
it's
Baylor
But as a
wasn't
player,
counted.
but as a
Yeah,
player,
Elgin
but
Baylor
as a
wasn't
player for what he created, what Paul Pierce and Carmelo Anthony created, I don't think like when you talk about top 10 small forwards, I don't think you could use that argument against neither one of them.
Once again, I'm not mad at it, but also too when it comes to Melo and Paul Pierce, for me that's not even a discussion. I'm like, we go argue with somebody else. I'm not about to go back and forth. I think Melo clears.
I'm okay. I think both of them clear, but I guess that's where we just that's where it knock off. Yeah.
All right, moving along to number 8. Well, we've kind of been talking about him this whole time.
Oh,
Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, okay. We don't need
Too
to.
low. Man, that's too low.
We've had the
Not
Melo
too low. That's
That's
perfect. But that's perfect.
That's
We can
too
just move
low.
on.
I don't like Melo being ahead of Paulie, but it's all right.
Whatever.
Yeah,
you ain't gotta like the
we
truth if
just
you
had
don't
a
want to.
20-minute Paul Pierce
I
Melo
know.
discussion.
Bro,
I'm just being petty.
that's incredible that Melo is this low, but
Low.
You got him. He got him top 5.
He got
Yes,
my
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
can
got
tell
him
you
top
right
5.
now, I love Melo more than anybody up here, and I can say that with a fact. Because that dude came to my city in 03 and changed my life. So none of y'all love Melo like me. And I'll say it like that. I'm being straight up. I'm ball hogging the fandom when it comes to Melo. But that's crazy for you to have Melo top 5. And I say it with all respect to Melo. I just argue for him. But top 5 is crazy.
Ball hog and Melo. Those
Yeah, but
go
he's
perfect together.
already spoke about like the Rick Barrys and the Elgin Baylors and the what. So you can
Yeah.
already just assume that
Right.
era is not being represented on the list.
Mhm.
For
So
sure.
you take those guys off the list, I can start to understand how Melo's creeping his way up. I can understand.
Sure.
Now,
Sure.
I don't agree, but I've represented the 60s and 70s a lot on my list. So
I
that's what Melo-
didn't represent the 60s and 70s on my last list either. So like that's kind of
Mhm.
where I just drew the cutoff at. Like
How far was Jimmy
I feel like
Butler away
that's-
from this list for y'all?
Top 10
far.
all time. Yeah.
far for right now.
Far?
Yeah.
Far for right now. For right now.
I
think
was spoiler. I consider Paul George more than I consider Jimmy.
Yeah, I would consider Paul George more than Jimmy Butler, but not really actually. And
I don't know
take
about
that back.
that,
Yeah, I walk that back. But Jimmy Butler's far right now. Like I mean, his
I'll
career's
give
not
you
over.
the
with.
He's 35. I don't think he's gonna do much that's gonna get him on the
Jimmy
list.
Butler's
Expect another
35?
championship run?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
35 next month.
Three
But yeah,
finals for Jimmy Butler?
great. I consider Paul George more than I consider
2.
Jimmy, but neither one of them
for
are
Jimmy
really
Butler,
I'm saying
man.
if he gets
Sometimes
another
Jimmy
one in the
Butler
bag.
inactivity for me for Jimmy Butler, man. Jimmy Butler just takes some seasons off sometimes, or he'll take like a couple. Like there's just like I respect coming in the playoffs and doing what you're doing, but I really respect 82 games. Like I respect can you play?
Oh, you a regular
80?
season merchant. I got you.
No.
I mean, the regular season's important.
It's important,
That's
and it's
cool.
important
It's
to your
about- it's
legacy.
about
Like,
30% of legacy stuff, about 30%.
that's why Kawhi
It
Leonard's not
should
on
be
this
way
list for me.
more. It should be.
That's why
That's a
Kawhi
spoiler.
Leonard's
Not
That's
on the
a
list?
spoiler. That's a spoiler.
Not on
That's a
this list,
spoiler.
man.
That's a spoiler. That's a spoiler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we might have to get to number 7. Yeah,
But I say, but I say he's not on
Before-
this list. For me.
Hold on. Before we get, we'll get to Kawhi. We
Okay.
will get to Kawhi. But as for Carmelo, I do just want to say Carmelo. And I didn't read off Paul Pierce either. Paul Pierce, he's a NBA champion, Finals MVP, 10-time All-Star, 4 All-NBA, and he's 14th on the all-time three-pointer list. So shout out to Paul Pierce. Carmelo Anthony, he's a scoring champ, 6 All-NBA, 10-time All-Star, and he's top 10 all-time on the scoring list.
He's still top 10.
And blackball from the league at one point for saying he wouldn't change the game when he did, and they didn't ask him to when he was in Houston. They never came to him and had a discussion with him. He even said it on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. They never came to me and asked me to make any adjustment. They just dropped me from the roster. You got
Swabby,
blackballed.
you can't just throw that word blackballed around like that. If you it's one thing for being blackballed for your political beliefs or something stupid, right? And it's a completely different thing for people not wanting to sign you because you're not a team player. That's not being blackballed. That's
What's
you
the
not
difference?
adjusting.
What's the
They
difference?
never came to him and asked.
The difference is that this is like we're not blackballing you. We're just not picking you up because you're not a team player. That's not being blackballed.
It's like
saying,
Isaiah Thomas has been blackballed the past few years. Like he hasn't been.
Isaiah
From
Thomas,
the-
that's
from
not
the
the same
Olympics,
thing because
if you got-
he was
if you
not
got-
Isaiah
That's what it is. It's
Thomas-
like teams didn't find him valuable. That's what it was.
because he was
that's not
physically
being
unable to
blackballed.
perform. That's number one. That's number one.
They
Number
didn't
two,
think Melo would help their team, so they didn't. pick him.
okay, and with your political aspirations, I don't want that on my team. What's the difference?
Well, that has nothing to do with basketball. So that's blackballing you. If I blackball you because of something that's completely unrelated to what happens on the hardwood, that's blackballing you. That's just
So what's
you know,
the white ball?
that's just that's persecution. Like, why are you doing this? But if you cannot help my basketball team, that just means you got cut because you weren't good enough.
And
now,
I know Melo wasn't good enough for the Rockets.
I know Melo was good enough. What I'm saying is, if you don't want to be a team player, I'm not blackballing you. Like there's a completely different thing. I don't.
So your stance.
That's not what happened though. He literally said they never.
You just said that they blackballed him because they wanted to bring him off the bench. Melo
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I never said that. I said they didn't go to Melo and ask him to do anything. They just cut him. That's what he said.
That happens a lot, though. That happens a lot, though. That's not blackballing.
Not to Melo.
You are a basketball player. You don't run that over here. I don't have to.
Shut up and dribble, chill. Shut up and dribble, chill.
I don't have to pull up on you and beg you to do something. Man, come play basketball. You do what your coach tell you to do and play ball.
Do you think the Suns told Nasir Little that, hey man, we're gonna cut
Nasir Little?
Do you think that's what they did? Like, no, they don't have to. You're just asking for a level of respect because of what Melo's done, which is fine. You can ask for what you want, but that doesn't mean they're obligated to.
Where's Melo's level of respect? Why is he not respecting the program? Why is he not respecting the organization?
I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying like you're asking for Melo to get.
Why is it that everybody got to bow down to these basketball players? Why can't he be a professional? Make an adjustment and play team basketball instead. He in the press conference talking about you hear that talking about me coming off the bench. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Now defending Daryl Morey, knowing Daryl Morey be lying. All right,
I don't care.
And Daryl Morey definitely be lying, but
regardless, it's sometimes liars tell the truth.
I mean, that's fine, but I don't think it's blackball either. I honestly just think like number one, they had kind of like a conspiracy of getting vets, older players out the NBA. That's number one too. Like they was trying to get them out the NBA because they want to shape the younger players in the NBA how they want to shape them. Melo just got cut off the Rockets. Just like it may have been unprofessional on Daryl Morey's part, but it wasn't blackball. It was just they just felt like he wasn't a part of the system that they wanted. So
that's why they're not gonna win nothing. That's why Morey ain't gonna win no championship neither. Good.
That's why Melo ain't win no championship.
Melo won 3. Melo got 3 and an NCAA championship. I'm gonna tell you, he's one of the best winners ever. He's one of the best winners ever.
This doesn't make sense though. I'm trying to make sense of this whole. Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry. Let's get back to this.
No, why doesn't it make sense, Chill?
The issue that I'm having is that I'm just supposed to. First of all, Carmelo Anthony said they didn't tell me what they wanted me to do. Ox just want me to shut up and whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Because I'm a team player. That doesn't necessarily make me not a team player if I don't agree with this.
Melo's also said in an interview with Dwayne Wade that when he went to Houston, they told him, hey, no mid-range. So they did tell him what they wanted. So is he lying? Which time is he lying?
No, those two different things. Those two different things.
And I was saying they didn't tell him what they wanted.
Wait a minute, Mars. So no mid-range jumpers and what?
No mid-range jumpers. You shoot threes. You might get one mid-range a game. But
what am I doing here then, Mars? If that's the case, because that's who I am.
That wasn't the whole story. Mars, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. That wasn't the whole story. But I do from a basketball adjustment. From a basketball adjustment, sure, whatever. That's not everything.
Don't mean that you can buck this. If you don't like the system, then you're not the coach. Go play somewhere else then.
But he became one of the best spot 3-point shooters in the league later on, though.
Okay. So that's the thing.
I'm saying I don't know. Based on what Melo has said multiple times, they were not clear with him what their expectation was. That's what he has said. I don't know if it was different. Whatever. It could have been different. Could have been whatever. Right. But that's what he has said on multiple occasions. I'm saying that I think Melo could have adjusted. I think his game, as Mars has kind of talked about, I think Ox, respectfully, what happened to Melo, his game became a little bit of a relic. Once 2015-16 happened, they were just shifting the NBA to more 3-point variants. Not a lot of pull-up.
More younger players too, by the way.
And unless you were SGA, unless you were Durant, unless you're Kawhi, unless you're Steph, unless you're, one of these other players that's like an elite mid-range shooter, you just don't get elite. Like if Melo was in his prime, it would have been different. But Melo was just an aging player, and his game was 2000s oriented.
Houston was just horrible. Houston was the peak of this analytical basketball.
Right.
Melo was the antithesis of the analytical basketball. It was a bad fit. Melo in Houston took 25% of his shots from mid-range. In Houston, he took 25% of his shots from mid-range. Like Houston, that's fine. Disagree with how Houston ran things. That's cool. It clearly wasn't a good fit.
I don't think it was blackball. I don't think it was a blackball.
And then Phil Jackson, we got to admit, Phil Jackson screwed him over.
Told him, we don't want you taking a bunch of mid-ranges. He only lasted 10 games for a reason. Even when they told him, by his own admission, they don't want him taking mid-ranges, he took a quarter of his shots from mid-range.
Hey, go back.
It.
Hey, go back to that. Go back to that.
Exactly, it was a bad fit. No wonder they cut him. It just didn't. It wasn't.
But the problem I'm having, Mars.
Yeah, Phil Jackson screwed him. Chill.
1 second, coach. 1 second, coach. But Mars, the problem with that logic is, okay, sure, it didn't work in Houston. He was out of the game for 2 years. I can't play. Nobody.
No one else found him.
At 32 years old, I just came off a season before when I got to Oklahoma City. I was with the Knicks. I'm 20. I'm still a 20 a game guy. I get in Houston where now they're hampering my game, which I'm still legit at. I'm still awesome at that. So now because I don't look like a team player, I can't play in the NBA anymore.
It's not look like a team player, so you're not a team player.
They didn't find his play style value. We know the way the NBA was trending. No one said Melo wasn't talented enough. Melo today is probably more talented than some NBA players. But it's not about that.
If I paint the story for y'all, okay, when you go back to what he said about Phil Jackson, right? Remember, I was just telling you they was trying to get guys like Carmelo Anthony out the league for a certain thing, right? Because they wanted the league to be younger and they wanted the league to be more entertaining to the average fan. Shooting those mid-range shots not that entertaining unless you the best player on the team. So when you start going away from that and you start shooting threes, longer threes and stuff like that, now you kind of get to where like, okay, get you out the league or you don't fit on this team. This whole analytical basketball drove the fans. That's why they introduced it. But I don't think it was blackball for any other reason. Like they just didn't like him. I just think it was just for the fact that they just want the league to be different.
Well, Phil Jackson also he went different. Once them goon comments or whatever, posse comments and all that stuff, that whole era of Phil Jackson was wonky. The hook, the Noah Rose signings, the Phil Jackson posse comments, the what he did to Melo, making Melo take a discount, even though Melo took a $5 million discount at the time. Like the way they talked about him with the contract. I mean, all of it. The whole last 2-3 years of that Knicks run after 12 was trash. And Melo got caught up in a lot of that stuff. I think his career could have been different. I think Melo from the start got bad coaching with Jeff Bezzelli. Again, respect. He was a good coach from Air Force, but he never got another NBA head coaching gig for a reason. I think him and George Karl, everybody knows George Karl. I know George Karl. I've done podcasts with George Karl. George Karl's a great coach, great person. I've had many conversations with him. They had a very tenuous relationship. He said things to Melo that he has acknowledged he shouldn't have said to Melo, and did things to Melo he's acknowledged he shouldn't have did at that point in time. Melo got caught up in some horrific coaching situation. Remember, Mars, the Nuggets pre Jokic and all this didn't pay people, and they didn't have like great player owner relationship. There was a bunch of nonsense, including the practice facility being trash, all kind of stuff. So there were a lot of things that happened in Denver that shaped him to be what he became. I do believe had Melo stepped into the Detroit Pistons thing, regardless of what Tayshaun Prince or Rasheed Wallace and them talking about, how he would have messed our situation up, they would have walked down everybody in the Eastern Conference if Melo was on that team.
George,
we're not going to go down this rabbit hole, but I do want Melo to speak on this situation himself. I'm going to put this on the screen, and Melo's going to talk about how he actually had an opportunity to go back to the Knicks and why he didn't. I think it's a lot of truth to some of the things that you guys have been saying in this interview right here.
Couldn't get a deal done.
The Knicks or the Knicks players?
The Knicks
organization.
What's happening? First of all, let's start at the beginning, at the top of the list, like P say, rest in peace, Prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
Is this true? How did this happen? Who was the first person to reach out? Like, walk me through this, dog. Because as a Knicks fan, I got it. This is crazy, but this is like.
Now I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to go back to that time. Like, I think I finished the season in LA.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that summer, like I already knew I wasn't going back to LA. Right. You know what I mean? It was an energy. It was a vibe. And it wasn't a bad vibe, but it wasn't a vibe that like we having that conversation to figure out something else. You just knew that they were going in a different direction.
Right.
Cool. So at that point, I'm like, you know what? My plan is playing out the way that I wrote it out, right? To come back to New York, finish it out in New York, have my year, play. It's a good team. You know, I still can play ball. I still can help the team out. Like, it was just like the vision I had, like, damn, you know, my goal was to always make it back here to finish it out here anyway. So that was my plan. I moved out the city, got the crib out there by, you know what I mean? I got the crib out in the county. So it was like, oh, okay, this is gonna happen. The energy is there, the conversations is there. It's like, oh, like this is gonna happen. And then the Donovan Mitchell situation came up. So now it's like, no, backtrack a little bit. They had a spot on the roster. And respectfully, the powers that be, right? We sat down and had a real conversation. Listen, here's a spot. You could be on the team tomorrow, but this is the spot. I said, nah, I can't. The not knowing of when you're going to play and not play, and I'd rather not go through that.
Right.
I'm going to bow out gracefully. I just had a hell of a year, and you know what I mean, in LA, in my role. Like at basketball today, that ain't the issue. I can't do that. That's a hell of a decline when I look at it overall, the overall big picture. That's a hell of a decline.
This is what Ox is talking about the team player. This is exactly what Ox is talking about the team player. So I'm going to go back.
Deal with that.
I'm going to go back to New York and I'm going to ride the bench because that's essentially what y'all want me to do. Y'all want me at the end of my career, even though I can still play, and I don't want to go out like that. Y'all want me to come back here. You want me to ride the bench? No, I ain't doing that. I'm good.
But that's the thing, though. See, that's just them saying, I'm not going to guarantee you that you're going to play 20, 30 minutes. You got to come in here and put in work. He don't want to put in work. He want people to lay the red carpet out for him.
Damn, Oxen, didn't I earn that though? After everything that I did I earn that?
In New York, dealing with that mess, 1,000%.
Damn.
James Dolan, Ox.
I played it for 7 years, Ox.
This is the Knicks team that was trying to win.
No, this
James
is basketball.
Dolan?
I'm not giving you something in 2021 because of what you did in 2013. No, hell no.
This is the Brunson Knicks. This is not a team that's like, oh, we're just going to let you go out there and work and win 19 games. He just said he came off the year with the Lakers. He just said he came off the year with the Lakers. He won the Lakers in 22. So that means he was going into the 22-23 season, which means this was the Brunson Knicks. They were trying to win. So why would they just roll out the red carpet and just start, oh, yeah, Melo, 25 minutes. Oh, yeah, we're not trying to win. We're just trying to appease Melo and give him a Kobe retirement tour. No. Why would they do that? Like, we got to be realistic about what Melo was at the time, which was someone who could score in isolation if you gave him touches, could make spot-up threes, could occasionally go on a heater from three where he could go 7 for 9, have those type of games, and was going to be a criminal in defense.
But I don't see the black ball. I just don't see the black ball in there. That's what I was.
These are two different years. We talk black ball.
We're not talking about black ball. I'm not talking about that in 2023. No, we're not talking about that. But Mars,
I can tell you for sure what happened with the Knicks.
And I want to move on. But the idea of not playing at all and then playing and then not playing at all and then actually having some significant minutes and giving you some significant minutes, are you saying that I can't be effective on this crew at all? I ain't asking to play 25, 30 minutes every night and you running the offense through me and me being the best player coming off the bench. I'm not saying that, but I'm damn sure better than the 13th.
And we got to move. We got to move on.
That's trying to win. I'm damn sure better than that.
And him feeling that way is why
I'm damn sure better than that.
And we got to move on.
We got to move on. Signed that contract and proved it.
But this is what I mean, that Paul Pierce ain't never had this kind of emotion to have people arguing like this on PC 20 years later. It's always been Mellow Street. Let's move on. Next.
Who we at? Number 7?
We are at number 7. As of right now, at 10, we have James Worthy. At 9, we have Paul Pierce. At 8, we have Carmelo Anthony. And at 7, we have John Havlicek.
I think that's right on.
Jordan, I don't know if you ever seen him play or read his stuff, but that's a well-deserved spot.
That's what I had him at.
John Havlicek was a nightmare. He was a great player.
I got you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, okay, what era is John Havlicek?
60s and 70s.
Okay. All I wanted to when we having these debates, I want y'all to have this same conversation. It's a little off because we're gonna have to have it another time. Have the same conversation for Shaq and Wilt when y'all have.
That's
when y'all
a
do
fact.
The center
Bring it
debate.
up. Bring up Bill Russell.
Have the same. No, not Bill Russell because he wasn't doing what Wilt was doing. But
What you talking about? He wasn't doing what Wilt was doing.
It's some other numbers.
50.
The 50 points a game. That's what
Have the same thing, the same respect when you talk about what John Havlicek was doing in the 60s and 70s. Have the same thing for Wilt. You can't put Wilt at that point. You cannot put Wilt number 2 at center. You have to put him 1.
No, Wilt's going to be high. He just
I watched him beyond the 50 points per game. So when I watched it, I was like, okay, they're playing 6,000 possessions a game. So that 50 is not the same as a mid 2000s 50 because one team plays 150 possessions and one team plays 92. I can see 58 extra possessions, 30 and 92 possessions is different than 50 and 150. That's just common sense. I can figure that out. Then,
but
then I can do the same
points per game if you do that.
No, of course not. Once again, get into it. Then I can do that also with the rebounds. They're shooting 44% from the field with 150 possessions a game. That would mean more rebounds are available. So yes, he gets more rebounds. I can also decipher when I do that 50 and 25 in the 60s is not the same as 50 and 25 in the 2000s. And I can arrive to the conclusion that yes, 50 and 25 looks crazy on paper, but it's not as crazy when you can factor in the way the game was different. The reason
let's have that same
is not because of the numbers. The reason I have is not because of the numbers. The reason I have Wilt lower than most people would like is not because of the numbers, because the way those numbers came about is very contextual. And I just think he really wasn't as good as people think, especially if you go back and watch. There was a lot of flaws. But John Havlicek was so good because he was so good for so long. That was very impactful. He was such a good playmaker. He was such a good defender, like one of the best wing defenders ever. Like he's not Scottie Pippen, but he's really, really good. And then he was a very good jump shooter. He could get to the rim. Like there wasn't really a flaw in Havlicek's game. The only reason I had him below Rick Barry, who had a 6 and Havlicek a 7, is I think offensively he was a step below Rick Barry. I think Rick Barry was the better passer. I think he was the better decision maker. I think he was the better shooter. So I think Rick Barry was more catered to be your team's best offensive player and lead you to higher heights than John Havlicek was. But John Havlicek's longevity, his defense, all of those things were really, really special. And
yes, but all I'm saying is
post Bill Russell years are what really moved me. Post Bill Russell, when he finally got into that starting role and he was able to really like elevate his game and be like the main piece of that team. There was a couple down years, but they got back to like relevance like within 3 or 4 years. And John Havlicek's a big part of that. Dave Cowens too. John Havlicek was special, man. I think he was really good. If you don't respect the era, you don't really like rate the era comparatively. I'm fine with that. But if you respect the era and don't respect John Havlicek, then I think it's wrong. But if you're just like that era is just before my time, or they're not as good, I can get with that. But if you rank that era and then don't respect John Havlicek, I'm like, okay, I think you're just wrong.
No, it's not that I don't respect John Havlicek because I do respect him. I'm just saying as far as the era is concerned, like there's always going to be like I've never heard nobody use an argument to help Wilt Chamberlain in the era. An analytic stat or an advanced stat to help Wilt Chamberlain in there, but they would do it for a guard. They would do it for this person, that person, that person.
I do it for Chamberlain all the time. I talk about Chamberlain. I talk about Chamberlain's field goal percentage all the time. I talk about Chamberlain's free throw percentage the year in 62, where he shot 62%, which is his highest field goal percentage of his career that year. So I do it for Chamberlain all the time. Yes, I do.
But I'm just saying most people don't. Like they'll use.
Most people don't know anything about the era. That's why you just got to be careful who you talk to. Like people who don't know anything have this tendency to not know how to shut up. So they just
of course. But what I'm saying
just end up talking and just spewing nonsense. Like you got to. You just got to not talk to.
You don't know what you're talking about. Stop talking.
I would 100% agree with that too. But all I'm saying is, as far as that's why I don't mess with the 60s era, because if I'm gonna do that same thing, I'm gonna have Wilt Chamberlain number 1 on the center spot because I feel like him and Shaq did the same thing.
They didn't. But that I think that
I feel like they did.
Though, Jordan.
They dominated. They dominated when nobody else could do what they could do.
No.
Oh yeah, no one could do what Wilt could do. That's true. No one could. On that, if that's how you mean the same thing, yeah. That no one could do what Wilt could do at that time. No,
and nobody could do what Shaq could do at that time.
Absolutely. Based on that,
we'll get to the centers eventually, so we can see where Wilt lands in comparison to Shaq. But as of right now, John Havlicek is number 7, and he had a pretty impressive career, didn't he, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
He had 8 championships, 1 Finals MVP, 8 all defensive teams, 11 all NBA teams. And he
that makes it even better. That compounds it. that compounds the fact.
No,
That
it doesn't.
definitely compounds it, because when you
You
talk
have a
about
better-
Shaq, I'm sorry, Mars, but this kind of shit is what boils my blood. That actually compounds it, because
you done did it
Shaq
now,
didn't
Jordan.
have to wear, because Bill Russell and Chamberlain didn't have to get nights off where he had to see Duckworth and Dwayne Shinchis and guys like that. What I got to see if I'm Chamberlain is I got to see Bill Russell on the regular. I got to see Nate Thurman on the regular. I don't get nights off where I got to see the lesser competition, where I'm seeing Duckworth and Dwayne Shinchis and Benoit Benjamin and dudes like that.
Dwayne
And I'm getting my
Shinchis getting
ass,
us
getting my ass bust by
Yeah,
big
respect
country.
Benoit.
I don't got to worry about dudes like that. That's why, because if we got 11 teams in the league, I got to see the better competition more. That's why that compounds what Chamberlain did, because I got to be on my game every night, not every other night or every third night or every fourth night, every night.
Yeah, but you
That shit
arguing
is
it,
crazy.
but you arguing it from a standpoint of you want that to work that way. When you add 15 or 18 more teams to the league, you have number one, injury plays a factor in that too. You have another chance of getting injured. You're also playing against a different strategy every single night, and you coming back and you have to adjust to playing these guys. Like, it's totally different. Like, I feel like it's harder to win a championship with 30 teams in the NBA than it is 12. Like, based on like you saying, like, I got to play against these guys every night, but they ain't as good as what you saying. If Chamberlain and Bill Russell are the guys,
One question, Coach. And to counter your point, one question, Coach. In 24-25, how many teams are going to win the NBA championship in your estimation this year? How many of them?
just one.
Okay, one of them. How many got a shot to win the NBA championship this year?
I would probably say, if I had to, let's say I count 2 teams on the East, maybe 5.
So 5 teams in a league of 30. 5?
1/6. What's that? Like 17%?
Yeah,
5 teams in a league of 30 as opposed to 11 teams.
Yes. Okay.
And the talent is pretty spread out.
Hold on. How many teams had a shot out of those 11 teams? Because the same teams won 2.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3. 2 or 3.
I think 3.
Maybe 4.
3.
No.
Maybe 4.
No.
The Celtics, the Lakers, Philly a couple
Philly,
times.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Celtics,
Maybe
Philly.
the Royals could sneak in there, but I doubt it. Other than that, yeah.
St. Louis.
early 60s,
Yes.
yeah. But like the whole era, maybe 3. But I mean, 3 out of 8 is better than
Way better than
it's
17%.
11.
Well, they got 11 in like the early 70s. Like it was 8 for a while.
Man,
That's almost half the league.
Bro, because you don't got to worry about
Almost half
nobody
the
else.
league. Imagine in 2025 of the 30 teams in the league, 15 of them have a legit. 13
Welcome
of them
to
have
the
a legit
CBA.
shot.
That might be the NBA.
I mean, we talking about the West and how stacked the West is. We got like 13 teams that might make the playoffs, and we're talking about like, oh my god, that's so much parity, and like we love that. The 60s, I mean, 8 teams. Like,
but hold on though. Can't we also say of that they went to what? How many finals? He won 8 finals, and they went to how many straight?
20.
So
what
I do want to say is we can say it was a stacked West, but let's say that we have this stacked West and we turn the Warriors into the 2017 Warriors. Is it really parity when you're that good? Yes, it's a stacked West.
But that's my thing.
That much better.
Were the Celtics, and this is like less against the Havlicek point and more about Bill Russell. Were the Celtics the 2017 Warriors, or did Bill Russell just make them unbeatable?
Right.
And John Havlicek, not just Bill Russell.
Well, John Havlicek arrived in like 62. He did.
How many elimination games did that Celtics team go to leading up to the championship?
Bill Russell was 10-0 in Game 7. So,
that sounds like some goat shit to me.
Yeah, he 10-0 in Game 7.
I'm not saying he's not a goat, but I'm just saying, like, bro, you stacking the team up, and then we playing against like the teams that we know all season long that I can beat them. The Celtics know all season long we can beat them same teams because we played them last year.
Why didn't Wilt win more then?
Because he didn't play on a team like Bill Russell did.
If you think everyone was trash,
no, I'm not saying everyone was. I'm not saying I don't think everyone was trash. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying undoubtedly you knew the Celtics had the best team in the NBA at that time. Undoubtedly, you knew that.
Okay,
it wasn't undoubtedly.
They also said Bill Russell. I think that speaks more.
Who was on those Celtics?
What he was at that point.
Who was that? The teams that were just overwhelmingly better than everyone. Who was on the Celtics?
So you had.
No, chill.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Who was on the Celtics?
He said he didn't watch all the era though. Just to be fair.
But then you can't just say, oh yeah, they were overwhelmingly better, and then not.
No, I'm saying when we talk about that era, you talk about Bill Russell for being a champion for what he does. You don't mention these other teams like, oh, they played against this team. They played against the Royals. They played against who other teams in the league at the time?
The Sixers, the Pistons.
I gotta get the names right. The names are a little different now.
The St. Louis Hawks. They had teams.
Like
like you talking about that. You talking about that. Ain't nobody. Undoubtedly, you would think the Celtics gonna win. That's why they won 11. I never seen somebody win 11 times in a row and think, oh, for the fourth time the Celtics are on the ropes. The fifth time they're on the ropes. The seventh time they're on the ropes. It's like the Patriots
Mars,
when they was playing.
They was playing against the Birmingham Bumpkins. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
I just never seen nothing.
Because they kept winning, that means the league was trash. It does not just mean
no. This is what I'm saying. For you to win 11 times in a row, at what time was they on the ropes?
Okay, let's go through it. Let's go through it.
How about in 16?
Let's go through it. When Bill Russell arrived. His first year, right? They won the game. They won the NBA Finals in Game 7 against the St. Louis Hawks. In 58, they lost the NBA Finals to that same St. Louis Hawks team. Now Bill Russell was hurt, but they lost in 6 games. In 59, when they win the championship again, they went to Game 7 against the Syracuse Nationals. They won, obviously. In 1960, they won in Game 7 of the Finals against the St. Louis Hawks. In 61, they beat everyone in 5 games. So, yeah, no competition, I guess. In 62, they beat the Lakers in the finals in 7 games. The round before that, they beat the Warriors in 7 games. That was Wilt Chamberlain.
Hold on, Mars.
And the Lakers with Jerry West and Elgin Baylor.
You already mentioned that they won one game. So we know Bill Russell has 11 rings, right?
Yes.
You mentioned the one game. You mentioned the one that he already won without 7 games, but you also said he went 10-0 in Game 7. So we know that the rest of the games went. We know.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm going year by year, and the only year that has
you named 3 teams. I'm saying you named 3 teams. You named 3 of the same teams, though. No, I'm saying you named 3 of the same teams. The St. Louis team.
So no, because we got the Hawks, year 1, Game 7. Then the next Game 7 was against the Syracuse Nationals. That's another team. Then the next Game 7 was against the Hawks again, but 3 years removed. The next Game 7 was against the Philadelphia Warriors, Wilt Chamberlain, and the Los Angeles Lakers. That's 4 teams he's gone to Game 7 against so far. The next game, so that's half the league. The next Game 7, Cincinnati Royals, 5 teams. They beat the Lakers in 6 games in the finals that year. The next Game 7, so 64, they mopped everyone. That was their best team, in my opinion. The Philadelphia 76ers, they beat in Game 7 in 65.
That was and Havlicek steals the ball. That was that game.
Yeah. So we've
got
hold on.
How many teams you just named from Philadelphia? You just named 2 teams from Philadelphia.
The Warriors and the Sixers. Sure, cool. The Philadelphia Warriors and the Philadelphia.
So they just changing the names.
What difference is that between LeBron playing the Warriors?
5 teams. My fault. 5 out of the 8 teams.
You saying
then they played Game 7 against the Lakers. Game 7 against the Lakers again. So the
by the way, Mars, and I want to keep going, Mars. Just so
Game 7 against the Sixers again. They won.
Just so
and then 69 Game 7 against the Lakers.
65, they beat them by a bucket. And in 61, when they beat the Lakers in Game 7, they beat them in overtime.
It was an 8-team league. They went to Game 7 against 5 different teams.
Dog fights.
You want to account the Warriors and Sixers?
They in
2 different teams. So 5 out of 8 teams. What's that? 62.5% of the league they've gone Game 7 against.
That's 2 out of every 3 teams.
So
they in dog fights.
I think it's.
I just totally disagree. We're talking about somebody on the list with 8 teams. Then we got a pool of players of 450 players in the league, with a team with 30 teams, and they got to like night in, night out. Like you saying that they don't have to prove themselves against some average Joe, but it's different. You got different coaches with different schemes. You seeing the same schemes pretty much all year long. Like you seeing the same, anything goes wrong, your season over with. Like, who's to say, like, you didn't name if their best player got hurt or if this person got hurt. You didn't name none of that. So, like, I just think, like, when you talking about 8 teams.
Devin Booker going against Devin Vassell as opposed to him going against Donovan Mitchell every night.
I think it's
Donovan Mitchell not going, but no, because you can't say that because Donovan Mitchell is not finna guard Devin Booker all night long like Devin Vassell will.
Only except that's what was going on in the 60s. He was guarding them every night. That's the point.
Fellas, we got
that's a long argument.
It's for the best
argument. I will argue from a different perspective.
This is a good argument, though. I really enjoy this, but we do got to move on to the list. Shout out once again to John Havlicek, 26,000 points in his career, regardless of what area you're in or what league you're playing in.
Top 5 run when he retired. That was when he retired.
He was also number 1 in missed shots.
Yeah.
Shout out John Havlicek. He was getting them up.
Mark, where you get the stats from that fast?
Oh, that's just one because I remember when Kobe passed him, it was a big deal because people. Kobe's so trash. That's why I know.
Yo, Jordan, you don't know this? Hey, this boy, he AI generated. They made him in the lab. That's why he can't take his hoodie off because he got wires and stuff back there. Yeah.
He got that on deck fast. He said top 5 in scoring when he finished. He said number 1 in missed shots.
All right, y'all. Moving along to number 6 on the list. First off, before I mention the 6th player, you guys make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and make sure you become a member, like my man Hutton Gilchrist, who became a Hall of Famer today, and Jerry Reality, and Arch, and Kendall Daniels, and Multi Kenny, and Cobra Son of Raditz, and Dorian Clayton too. Be like them, become Hall of Famers. Moving along at number 6 on this list, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Claw, Kawhi Leonard.
Bro.
6, I think I struggled with.
Bro.
I struggled with Kawhi.
That's why I had him at.
Well,
Bro, hold on. I'll go first. This is exactly why I don't have him on the list, and this is exactly why, like, this is why I'm frustrated, because you talking about a guy who played half the damn season, Then you get in the playoffs. Yes, he's going to win. Or, one of his biggest stats where he had a winning percentage. He had one of the highest winning percentage because you playing half the damn season. Like, I have a hard time when we compare eras when guys play 40 games, 50 games, 60 games, and you got a guy like Michael Jordan, who's the best player in the league, playing all the games. You got guys like Kobe Bryant playing all the games. You got other guys playing all the games. You're going to put a guy that's playing 50 games. Oh, I can't play back-to-back. I can't do this. And then, bro, we seen Kawhi do that with Toronto, but he played how many games in Toronto? 60 maybe? 60
games.
Bro, think about it from a work perspective. If you went to work 100 days out of the year and you miss 22 days out of the year, would you be fired?
We actually
not if you're the most productive employee for the days you're there.
Fired.
We actually put the numbers together, coach, and what it worked out.
I'm pretty sure if I missed one episode a week of the panel because of how valuable I am, they would know better. They would
be looking for.
We actually put the numbers together, coach, and just pick 2 days out the week. Those are the 2 days I ain't coming to work every day, every week. That's how that works with Kawhi.
But if I got you on a schedule for these days, you gonna just say, hey, take them 2 off. I'm not going, bro. Stop it with that. Like, he's a great player. If he played, has he been available? I'm agreeing with you. I'm cool with this. This guy has not been available.
Well, we're talking about player. Who's better than him at the small forward position at his apex over the course of their career? Do you think Melo has been a better player than
availability? Don't count. Availability don't count.
But like he's also played. So he's averaged. So over his career, he's played in 696 games since 2000.
He's been in the league 12 years.
64, 58, 66, 64, 72, 74, 9 is when the injury started. Then he played 60 championship, 57, 52 NBA shortened season that year, and then didn't play the ACL injury in 2021-22, and then played 52 2 years ago, and he played 68 last year, which is his most games played since 2016-17.
How many games?
That sounds like a lot of basketball. I think this is
that's not sound like a lot of basketball.
At this point, it's just a myth. It's just a myth.
He missed the 2018 playoffs. He missed about 5 games in 21. He's only played. He played 2 games last year out of that 5 games, and he played 2 games this past year.
Yeah, he plays a lot of basketball. At this point, it's just a myth. It's just a myth.
No, ain't no myth.
There's some truth to
it.
Like
Swiper just ran down how many games he played all these seasons, and y'all gonna keep saying, "Oh, he's just never available." He missed the whole season for his ACL.
68 games, 82.
68
he played. I think Tatum played 73 games last year, if I remember.
Missing 14 games. Like,
and
I know back in the day people played.
No, I'm saying how many Kawhi played last year?
68.
That's
he can't play in the playoffs when he played that.
What do you mean? All right,
do you know why they was keeping him out half the season? Because if he do that, he can't play in the playoffs.
So Kawhi Leonard had legitimate knee injuries because
I know for a fact he does. Yes, I know for a fact he does.
And then while he was on the court last year, which is what we're talking about, when you are playing last year, for instance, when he played versus the Phoenix Suns, he was the best player on the court over that small sample size that he was playing, and he had degenerative knee injuries at 31 and 32 years old, which is what happens sometimes when you have injuries that prevail over the course of your career.
I mean, you had Bernard King on the list. The same shit happened to him.
Yeah, I didn't want to put Bernard King on this. I had him off the list at first.
We're talking about the best players.
You put him over Kawhi.
He's one of the best small forwards ever, who has limited sample size.
Well, hold on. It's not limited sample size. Number one.
Yes, it is.
So if you're arguing
Yes,
against
it
Kawhi
is.
Leonard, but not arguing against Bernard King for the exact same
I did
thing,
argue.
or
I
other
did
players.
argue
But
with.
you got
I
him
did
on the
argue with
list,
that.
though. That's his bias. It's clear bias.
No, it's not biased because I didn't have him on the list. I had to take him off the list. I just didn't put Kawhi on there at the end because his career, to me, it ain't the same.
But you got Bernard King on the list, though.
How many years does Kawhi at his apex? Wait, hold on. How many elite
Hold on,
seasons
let
does
me
Kawhi
go
have
to
as
it.
opposed to Bernard King? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
15,
How many what?
15, 16,
How many
17,
elite seasons does
19,
Kawhi Leonard as opposed to
20,
Bernard King?
21.
He's got 6 of them.
He's got about well, it depends when you think he became elite.
Kawhi.
I'd say at least
Right.
How many does Bernard have where he was in top 3 in the world conversation?
4.
Oh, Bernard was never considered top 3 in the
Well,
world.
this is what I'm trying to figure out because Kawhi, 16, 17, 17, 18, whatever injuries, 18, 19, when he gets to the Toronto Raptors, it's in top 3 in the world conversation or top 4 at bare minimum. And then from 19,
Hold on, stop
20,
it. Let me stop you right there.
Let's talk about 21.
Let me stop you right there.
I'm about to get there. Hold on.
Hold on.
From 2017 to 2021, every year Kawhi was healthy, he was considered a top 5 player every year.
Coach, you fight that? Coach, do you fight that, Coach?
The 17, 19, 20.
Coach, do you fight that? Do you fight that?
Do I fight that he was top 5?
From 17, 18 to every year he was healthy, all the way up until 2021. He was considered a consensus top 5 player in basketball. And
Coach, do you fight that?
If not the best two-way player in basketball for a lot of people.
I agree, but this is my only issue with this Kawhi Leonard crap. Once he got to Toronto and they decided he can't play the whole season, right? Stop all that elite crap because we're not gonna get him for half. We're only gonna get him for half the season. Do you understand why he was when he got to the Clippers? Do you understand when he got
games is not half the season.
Yeah, and he played 24 games that playoffs. By the way,
hold on. All right, okay. Hold on. Let me.
That's more than 2/3.
Yes, but you. Hold on, but listen.
I don't like it, but
okay, that's exactly what I'm saying. So listen, do you understand at the Clippers? Do you know why he couldn't play back-to-backs? Because of his knee problem. But you know what their plan was? You know what their plan was? To have him play in the playoffs. So don't have him play back-to-backs because we need him for the playoffs. Then he still get hurt in the playoffs. He played how many games this year? 72? That's what you said?
68.
68. How many games he there? Because if he played more, he cannot play in the playoffs.
What does that got to do with his greatness, though?
Okay, but no, we can no because I agree. I had Kawhi lower because
I don't get how you great. I don't get how you great because of that. Like
I had Kawhi lower because of the longevity. I still had him in the top 10 because him at his apex was just too much for me to overlook. But
if I had to pick between him and Bernard King, it would be at 10 because of that. Because the reason why I put Bernard King in there because Bernard King got some seasons where he averaging 32, 28, 26. Kawhi don't got them.
How many games Bernard King play when he averaged 32?
55. Yeah, 55.
Towards knee up there.
Kawhi don't got that when he played 55 games.
Yeah, we praising 55 games. Yeah. But anyway, so the reason I had Kawhi, I think, at 8. And the reason I had him that low is because of the longevity. Him at his apex would have been top 5, but it just the sustainability of it just wasn't.
He probably would have been top 3 if he wasn't hurt. He probably would be top 3.
Yeah, but
he always hurt though.
Yeah, but like even when he elevated into that upper echelon of the NBA, for me it was 2015. That's when he elevated to the upper echelon of the league, and then 2016 is when he got into like the top 5-ish talks. 17, I think he becomes undoubtedly top 5. 18, he's hurt. 19, undoubtedly top 5-ish. 2020, top 5. 21, top 5. And then the last 2 years post ACL has been a bunch of load management. But from that stretch,
let me ask you a question.
17 to 21, like I know Swiper read out the games and it was like 57 games. You got to remember that's 57 out of the 72 games.
That's what I said.
But
which could have been 60.
Still a lot of games. Still a lot of games missed. When have we normalized missing 13 games? That's okay.
The bubble season is 57 out of 72, and then the 52 games out of 72 in 2021. So he missed.
What era did we normalize that?
Normalize? What do you mean normalize?
In what era did we normalize missing more than 10 games?
And in both of those postseasons, he played 13 games and 11 games respectively. He got hurt in the 2021 playoffs. He tore his ACL. We can acknowledge that, but oh well. But he was playing at an elite level in that postseason. For me, him giving me those 5+ years of elite level value while being available for me in the regular season and postseason at a level that I can accept. And then the past 2 years he's given me where he hasn't been as available and the postseason hasn't been there was enough for me to get him at 8 just because of how good he actually is. He would have been higher if he was more available. That's why I can't get with 6. I couldn't get with 6.
I got my personal vendetta.
He's such a good scorer. He's such a good defender. He's become such a well-rounded offensive player. that I'm willing to accept 50 games. I'm not gonna lie, I'm willing to accept that 50 games.
Man.
That 50 games, I'm sorry, is better than Paul Pierce. I can't put Paul Pierce
man.
Way better.
when he's better than Paul Pierce. I
Way
can't
better.
do that. I can't.
Man.
So wait,
This
top
is
for
my problem.
peak for peak, Jordan. Peak for peak. You tell me Paul Pierce is in the same class as Kawhi Leonard?
No, he's not. But this is my problem with this. Look, this is my problem with this. In what era did we normalize that if you miss out of 82 games, if I play 68, oh, that's acceptable.
68 games.
Shit,
is a lot of games.
In what era did we do that? In what era did we do that?
Hold on. And I have a second. Yes. And I have another one. And when it's time for free agency, I'm gonna ask for the most money. I'm gonna ask for all of these things. I'm a max player. I need this, I need that, but I'm gonna miss all these games.
Yep. Just so you know, Shaq did it. Just so you know.
Yeah,
Shaq
I was gonna say Shaq used to miss a lot.
Shaq did it. Yes, Shaq missed a lot of games. 100% he did.
Okay, but did you know why he got traded? That's what part of the reason why he went to the Lakers too. They didn't want to give him what he wanted,
and then the Lakers were willing to do that.
And then he had to go win a championship and not give Shaq what he want.
No,
but Kawhi won 2 championships. That's why he gets what he wants.
He went to Orlando. He went to the Lakers coming off playing 54 games.
Okay.
And the Lakers gave him what he wanted. You know why? Because it was Shaquille O'Neal. Then the first year on the Lakers, he played 51 games. He played 51 games his first year there.
Gave him 100 mil.
He played 60. He played 60 games his second year there. He played 49 out of 50 in the lockout season. So I'm not stupid. 79 the next year. 74 the next year. Then 67. He goes to Miami and plays 73. And then it's 59, 40. And now we got older Shaq.
And okay, when we talk about Shaq, you want to use Shaq, that's fine too. But Shaq dominated the league far more than Kawhi Leonard did. That's not even a comparison.
Yeah, and guess what? Shaq is going to be on everyone's top 5 centers. We ain't putting Kawhi in the top 5 small forwards. We're saying he should be in the top 10.
Kawhi would have made it if Jordan didn't keep him off the list.
And that's what I have a problem with. But Kawhi productivity for the things that he do, yes, it's great in the playoffs. It's great. He's doing great things for those 2 things. But he's not as productive as Shaq is to be demanding what Shaq did.
Him to Shaq, though. We're talking about players that are at the superstar level or star level that have had injury concerns over the course of their career and still give you elite production when they're on the court. That is this particular conversation.
I ain't never heard nobody bring up Shaq and say Shaq couldn't stay on the floor, so this is what it is. But we bring it up all the time.
What's going on?
Because the narrative doesn't get pushed, that makes it untrue?
No, because I'm saying that this is what I'm saying. It's not the same. That's what I'm saying. Because Shaq is dominating. Kawhi is not dominating the NBA. He's not dominating.
What is that? So now we're getting into the nuance of dominating. So this what I'm trying to understand. How is Kawhi Leonard not dominating like Shaq? Because you're saying he's not dunking and dominating the interior when he again
it just looks different, Swiper. It just looks different.
That's what I'm saying. But he was also
that's not what I'm saying that it looks different.
He's not Shaquille O'Neal, but he's certainly dominant.
But so we
I don't think he's dominant. I don't think Kawhi Leonard is dominant.
So wait a minute. So just to be clear. So you're saying that a player basically averaging 24 on 54, let's say 50% from 2, 49% from 2.
That's not dominant.
40% from 3. And no, hold on. 50% from 2 as a wing guard player, a primary perimeter scorer, and then being a 40% three-point shooter and being an 80 and 87% free throw shooter over a stretch while being the consensus best wing defender in the sport and one of the best wing defenders from 2000 on. You have an uber efficient scorer, pull-up shooter, three-point shooter who gets to the rim and he can guard anybody on the court 1 through 4, like locking you up. That's dominance. Because you don't get players like that.
The game is not dominant. So Scottie,
no, because you hear what I said. If he upped his volume, if he upped his volume to 30,
he went to Portland and couldn't dominate. He wasn't dominant.
Wait, hold on, Swiper. Bro, tell me you got Scottie on the list.
I do got Scottie on the list. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I also want the record to show from 2017, because this Bernard King is blowing me. From 2017 to 2021. Kawhi Leonard played 60 playoff games. In Bernard King's career, he played 28.
Like, he didn't go to the playoffs that many times.
So what are we talking about with Kawhi? What more do we want? He plays more than Bernard King. He's better than Bernard King. And we're going to complain about availability.
Hold on. First of all, this is what I said. Hold on. This is what I said. I said
8 games in the playoffs.
This is what I said. I said I would have put Kawhi Leonard at that spot. I just said the league is different. Like I have a personal vendetta on you demanding all of these things when you're gonna play half the season and you're not gonna play in the playoffs. That's my own
season, Jordan. He plays more than half the season, and when he plays, he's one of the best players in the world.
No, he's not. All right, obviously.
What do you mean, no, he's not? What do you mean, no, he's not? No, all right, stop. Everybody stop. Jordan, hold on. I need an answer because this is going back to that Stockton Nash thing that we had 2 days ago, which is fun. This is great for content, but you better believe I'm trying to ask a question. Let me get your mind. So from 2010 to 2020, how many players were better in the NBA than Kawhi Leonard? Help me understand. Who do you actually think? Just say LeBron, get him out of there. Get Steph Curry out of there. Get Kevin Durant out of here. That's 3. Who else was better than him?
That's where the love stop.
That's where it's gonna stop. But I'm saying it's a drop off from them players to Kawhi Leonard. I'm saying it's a drop off.
James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't win MVPs in that era.
What you said? What you said? What you said?
I don't. But
James Harden
like Kawhi Leonard dominant with no
in
MVP. With no MVP, he's dominant. How's Kawhi Leonard dominant with no MVP? I've never heard a dominant player not win an MVP.
Dwayne Wade wasn't dominant.
No, Dwayne Wade wasn't dominant. He was good. He wasn't dominant. Y'all are tripping with the word dominant. Y'all don't understand that it's not a lot of players in history who have been dominant. Y'all are tripping with that word.
Dominant isn't just dominant.
Kobe only had one dominant season.
Whoa.
He at least had one MVP. He's dominating. We know Kobe Bryant is dominant. We know Shaq is dominating.
If Kobe ain't win the MVP in 08, you would say he wasn't dominant.
No, I'm not saying that he wasn't dominating because then you got to go up with wins too. Like Allen Iverson is a dominant player. Like Steph Curry is a dominant player. Like those are dominant players. I'm not saying Dwayne Wade wasn't good. He's elite. He's at that level.
Dominant? Was Bernard King dominant?
No, I don't agree he was dominant.
AI's better than Dwayne Wade?
I have a really good argument for that, but I think
we don't need to hear that.
Yeah,
we will be doing the shooting guard episode soon. Jordan, it appears that you have been invited back for not only the sinners list because of Wilt Chamberlain, but the shooting guard list because of Dwayne Wade and Allen Iverson.
Why not?
But fellas, we do have to move on because we have 30 minutes left and we have 5 more people that we have.
This is what happens when Ron lets us ramble about T-Mac for 45 minutes. Now look, we don't have enough.
T-Mac was a good conversation.
No.
This is a better conversation.
Kawhi is a good conversation. John Havlicek was a good conversation. Carmelo, it's all been good conversation.
Hey, Ron, hold on. For example, I just have a quick thing. I only have a problem with this. Like I have a vendetta with these newer generation players. When you go, I asked for the most money. I asked for all of these things, and I'm only gonna play 68 games in a season of 82. I'm not gonna play back to back, and I'm only gonna give you 2 playoff games. Count me in as the greatest ever. That's my only vendetta. That's
Kawhi would play if he could in the playoffs. Like that's not on him. You can be mad at that, but Kawhi would be there. But of the players, active players, and we can end on this. The only players who have played more playoff games than Kawhi Leonard, who are currently playing, LeBron, 21 years, Al Horford, who came in 06, KD, James Harden, Klay Thompson, part of a dynasty, Draymond Green, part of that same dynasty, Chris Paul, 20 years, and Steph. Dynasty. They're the only players who have played more playoff games than Kawhi Leonard who are currently playing. Danny Green.
Russell Westbrook didn't play.
No. Russell Westbrook didn't. Jimmy Butler hasn't. Paul George hasn't. Whoever else you want to come up with. No.
When we got to 7 players, bro, for a player that y'all saying is dominant, bro.
You Al Horford came in 06. Kevin Durant came in 07. James Harden came in 09. Chris Paul came in 05. Steph Curry came in 09. All of them came in before Kawhi Leonard ever did. The only one who came in after Kawhi Leonard is Klay Thompson and Draymond. Klay Thompson was the same year. Draymond was the year after, and they were part of dynasties who went to 6 finals. That's the only reason they played more games. Everyone else, Kawhi Leonard either came into the league after or has played more than everyone else. So
but you also benefit. But Kawhi had his own team with the Clippers for the first time. The Raptors was making the playoffs. Spurs was a dynasty, so it's not like he has this thing where he's the only guy on the team and he brings this team to the playoffs.
All right, y'all. We got to move on, but Dub Kawhi talk. Now we're going to move on to the top 5, which I don't think none of these are going to be surprising, especially the top 3. But let's go ahead and do it. At 5. And I also do want to say for Kawhi Leonard, I'm running a poll right now. I said, was Kawhi dominant at his peak? 88% of the chat said yes. In fact, he was. And I also ran a poll. Where should Kawhi be ranked? Top 5. Is he perfect at 6? Is he not top 10? And is he in the top 10? And 38% of you guys said that he's top 5. 32% said he's perfect at 6. So that's how they feel about Kawhi. Let's keep going. At
Y'all got
number
y'all
five.
got Scotty. Y'all got KD over Scotty, huh?
Absolutely.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts.
At number 5,
Scotty
we
Pippen.
have
I'm sick of you, motherfucker.
This should be
Scotty
Cool.
Pippen at number
Great.
5.
Great player.
I had Scotty.
Facts.
Yeah, great player. Let's
Ox is
move.
gonna fake outrage, but he know 5 is perfect for Sway.
Yeah, 5's great.
Ox, where you got Scotty Pippen at?
At
If we being
3,
honest.
you got him at 3. He's for sure got him at 3. He's got Bron, Bird, and Scotty. That's what he's got.
Is that where you got him at, Ox? At 3?
100%. Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
I know. Yeah, but he's acting fake outrage. He know
All right,
5.
Scotty deserves 5. We need to argue the other.
Yeah,
It's not outrage, Martin. It's disappointment.
You got Scotty at a Doc.
Yeah.
5 is perfect for Scotty in my humble.
Okay.
But, hold on, no. I would like to hear Ox's reasoning for having him at 3 if Ox wants to give that.
We don't got time. We don't got time.
So it
Yeah,
is
we gotta
fake
get-
outrage.
It's not outrage. It's disappointment.
But you knew we was gonna have him at 5.
I realized it just like right before. So I was like, wait a second, he about to say Scotty because I realized he said it's 5. Ron said it's 5, and there should be no surprises. And I was like, wait, who is it? Right? And I was like, oh yeah, that's right, KD. You know, Doc. I put it together, and I was like, it's no way that these dudes up here put Scotty at 3 where he's supposed to be. And I just realized, like,
Can I hear where everybody had Scotty? Chill.
I had him
March
lower.
at 5.
I had him lower. I had him like
7.
6,
I don't
6 or
have a
7.
technical Kawhi.
6 or 7, coach?
He had Melo at 4.
Because I changed my list. I had to take somebody off my list because we had George Gervin. I had George Gervin on there.
Oh, that's right. I mean,
Yeah, I had to take him off my list.
Yeah, Ox.
All right.
it's a ball spot. This is a great patch, bro. This ain't a ball spot. I got great
Moving
hair.
along.
Yeah, Scotty might be the
Pippen
least controversial.
was at 5. I don't think it's other than Ox. I don't think it's much of an argument. I think that was a good
All
landing
right.
place for him. I had him
5 was
directly
cool
at
if you
5.
put him on that. Yeah,
All
that's
right,
fine.
next on the list.
At 4.
Swipe. There's no way you trying to rush to the list after you kept. Matter of fact,
Yeah, we spent half an hour arguing Melo being
That's
black.
fine. That's fine. There's no argument for Scotty to move up anywhere. So let's just move on to the people that actually deserve to be in the GOAT conversation.
At 4, we have none other than the doctor himself.
Yep.
Julius.
Okay,
Erving.
Yeah.
KD over Doc,
Yeah,
man.
for
I'm
sure.
sorry.
This perfect for him. This
For
perfect.
sure.
Yeah.
That's
I got 4 for sure on
I'm
Doc.
not gonna lie. I think we got the top 5 perfect. I think we got it perfect. Good work, guys. I had
Yep.
Doc at 4.
You think so?
Yep.
Unless someone's done something ridiculous. But yeah, this is perfect.
Unless y'all don't got Bird at 1.
That would be
Keep
incredible.
going, Ox.
Because if y'all don't got Bird at 1,
You don't have Bird at 1.
check my list here.
You do not have Bird at 1.
Well, there's no possible way you put Larry Bird over LeBron
don't have
James.
Bird.
It's
You don't have
impossible.
Bird.
It's
You
not
know you're
possible that you did
contrarian.
that.
You know
Right?
you're
No, you don't.
contrarian. You know.
Let's
It's
keep
not
going.
possible that you did
You
that.
gotta. Hey, KYP, know your personnel, Jordan.
Yeah, he liked to be a contrarian. He liked to just go.
He
against-
doesn't have
LeBron James, like, it's no way we debating that. Only one you debate. Bro, you got Scotty and Kawhi over KD.
Guys, Kawhi at
Bro, hold on.
Let's see it one more time. One more
What's
time.
your
Ox.
argument? Hold on, and then give your argument on why Kawhi is over KD.
Keep going, Ox.
No, we've been here.
Show
before,
us
bro.
the
We've been
list.
here
Show us the
before.
list. One more time. All right. Ox's list is Larry Bird,
Bro.
LeBron James, Scottie Pippen, Kawhi Leonard, Dr. J, and Kevin Durant at 6.
KD at 6.
Bro.
That's
Yeah,
Why
love.
would Kawhi? Okay,
This
so
is such a
That's love.
contrarian.
That's
so
love.
He's
So
such
Kawhi
a-
dominated the league more than KD. Kawhi dominated the league more than KD.
I dare you to lie.
He's just a better overall basketball player. He's just a better
bro.
overall
Yeah,
basketball player.
No, he's
This is
not.
such a
No, he's not.
contrarian.
He's just
No,
a
he's
better
not.
overall basketball player. Like KD's a better scorer for sure, but
He's probably a better passer too. He's a better passer too.
He's just a
Better post
overall
up player. On defense, Kawhi got him on defense, but KD no slouch on D. Pause.
He's not even in the same conversation.
I was about to ask you, Ox, what's the gap? What's the gap between KD and Leonard?
The
gap.
defensive gap is so much bigger than the offensive gap.
No, it's not.
Tell me when to stop, Ox. With the defensive
What
gap
defense? Your hands aren't even going to be on the screen. Chill.
So
Like,
it's
You crazy.
the defensive
Crazy.
gap is crazy.
Now,
Like,
the offensive gap between Leonard and KD. Tell me when to stop.
it's
Ox.
it's
there.
it's about here.
No, it's not.
It's
Oh,
about
my
here.
God.
So are we just collectively just ignoring that he put Larry Bird at 1? Like we just.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't even get.
Larry Bird.
I just wanted to stop by the Kawhi first, but Larry Bird at 1 over LeBron James. No, I got Larry Bird 2.
Yeah, I think we.
Everybody has Larry Bird 2.
Yes.
Okay, but how would you possibly see that? That's what I want to know. How could you possibly see Larry Bird over LeBron? I just want to know.
Look, that's just a personal preference. And I already know y'all gonna have him over. I knew Bron's spot wasn't in jeopardy, so it was okay for me to do that. This is a personal preference, so that's all.
So you would personally prefer Larry Bird over LeBron James on any team?
It depends on what situation. You know what I'm saying?
What situation could possibly result in that?
If we talking about NBA Finals, who you got, Larry or Bron? I want Larry. I want Larry.
And what do you
How many Finals MVPs does Larry Bird have in his finals? No, yes it is. Yes it is. Because I'm gonna ask you, how many Finals MVPs?
I have no idea.
Does Larry Bird has out of 3 championships or 4?
Yeah, 3 championships.
Out of 4 championships, LeBron have how many Finals MVP does he have?
5 times.
There you go.
I don't, man. That's not a fair point at all.
Why is not?
Because Steph Curry only has 1 Finals MVP.
Yeah, because he lost 2 of them to KD and one of them to Iguodala.
He shouldn't have lost. But shout out to Iggy.
He still wouldn't have all 4. How many does Mike have? How many Finals MVPs does Mike have?
6.
2 for real.
Damn. So you don't work with Kareem?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I like Kareem.
He only got 2.
Yeah,
So
I'm about to say, Jordan, we don't got to do this today.
Kareem only got 2 of them. So
I would like to have
I only have 2 players in the GOAT conversation, so that's fine. I only have LeBron and Jordan.
Kareem and Jordan.
Yeah, that's it.
No Kareem?
Ox, if you taking
LeBron.
Nah,
and
he only got 2 Finals MVPs. Look at me.
LeBron and Jordan.
Ox, you taking Bird over James in the NBA championship based on
I'm taking Larry in any single game situation.
So one game you take
any must win single
any must win.
I'm taking Larry.
You're not that wrong for that. 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 But I'm still taking LeBron James though.
I would never argue.
Game.
This is a conversation. This is an argument I would never have with you. I would never try to convince you. Like, no, you should take Larry. Nah. Like, you got Brian.
You're entitled to your.
That's like I said. This was just a personal preference, and on top of that, I knew that Bron's spot was not at jeopardy for number 1, so this wasn't gonna mess up the list. It was just my list.
Yeah, I think this top 5 is the easiest one in my opinion. Like, this top 5 was quick.
All I'm saying is taking Bird over Bron in the finals matchup isn't all that ridiculous.
I want you to explain that, Ron. I want you to explain that. Why?
Ron just trying to get himself on the TikTok clip too.
I would. What's up, TikTok? How my merch look? I'm just saying. I mean, Jordan, I would explain it. I just don't have time because I have to let you guys know who is now at number 3.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, it is. That's what I got.
Yeah, this top 5 was so I got my top 5 done in like 4 seconds. 6 through 10 is where I struggled. The top 5 was so quick.
The top 3 was easy for me.
Yeah, I didn't even think twice. It was Bron, Bird, KD instantly.
It was so. Well, the only people that didn't have KD at 3 was Ox and myself.
Wow.
I had KD at 4 though.
Who did you have at 3?
Dr. J.
Doc.
If I factored in the ABA, I think Dr. J could have had a case for 3, but I don't. So.
All right. Well, obviously.
So hold on, Ron. So any situation, you picking KD? I mean, you picking Doc over KD?
Any situation?
Yeah.
I mean, not with the Warriors, no.
But okay. What about?
Other than that, it can be considered.
Okay.
KD gonna stay getting disrespected, man.
Man.
There ain't no disrespect. We talking about greats right now.
You put him 6th. I'm sorry, that's disrespect.
Yeah, he put Kawhi with KD. That's crazy.
Behind Kawhi and Scotty, like
behind Kawhi Leonard and Scottie Pippen is unbelievable, bro.
You just don't know about Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, you love Scotty and you hate KD. That's cool.
I don't hate KD, bro. I got KD on the list.
Ox, you can't make a legit argument why KD is not a top 5 small forward in NBA history. You can't do it.
He's number 6. What's the big deal?
Once again,
because you got Kawhi 4.
You know, I saw how you reacted to me. I scored you at 5. What's the big deal?
I grew up on Scotty, man.
And I did too, Ox. And you can't make
Chill.
a
You agree.
This is so chill. But chill, wait a second. Because I feel like you should kind of let me have this one. The same way I be trying to tell people to leave you alone about the Kobe Bryant thing. It's like, well, if you could have Kobe where you have Kobe, I can have KD where I got.
I had to explain mine though. That's the difference.
He ain't explaining his. He did.
Whether you
agree
with it or not, that's something completely different. But
I think
to your
Dr.
point,
J,
Boss,
Kawhi
I was
Leonard,
at the
Scottie
draft
Pippen,
the night
LeBron.
Scottie Pippen got drafted. I was there, and so I did grow up with Scottie Pippen. I was in the 8th grade, right? So with that being said, I did grow up with Scottie Pippen. I did
chill. I think Dr. J, Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Pippen, LeBron James, and Larry Bird are better than Kevin Durant all around basketball. What's wrong with that? We are talking about greats. We're talking about legends right now.
I don't think you got no real debate for Kawhi being all around better basketball player than KD. I don't think there's a debate that you got.
Kawhi's is such an easier debate.
How?
Because he's just an all around better basketball player on both ends of the floor. Kawhi can score. KD is a more of an efficient scorer than Kawhi for sure. But Kawhi is
productive scorer too. Productive and efficient. Don't forget about that part.
In the playoffs, it's actually closer than you would think.
I'll give you efficient. Like I said, efficiency is where I stop. Efficiency is where I draw the line. He's an explosive scorer. Kawhi's scoring just looks different than KD. It just looks different. Kawhi's still getting to his spots at will. He's still a bully on the block. He's a monster in transition. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't really see, besides that mid-range pull-up, where does KD really clear Kawhi on offense? You know what I'm saying?
Kawhi not a monster on the block. You rarely see him post up. He's not a monster on the block.
Real quick. On that mid post, in that mid post, Kawhi's a beast. What are you talking about? Right. He put his body on you, bang. Kawhi's so strong. He bowed, turn around over the right shoulder. You can't do nothing with that.
How many times he gonna do that a game though?
As many times as he wants to.
He only do it like 3 times.
As many times as he wants to. Kawhi is a monster on the block. He puts you in a torture chamber down there. There's nothing you can do. I won't argue that. He's 6'7", 6'8", long arms.
Durant not putting you in a torture chamber. He just gonna. It's a sniper. It's a kill shot off the rip.
Okay, so what I'm saying is Kawhi got all this in his offensive bag. It just don't look as pretty as KD. You know what I'm saying? In transition, there ain't no. There's no talking about in transition, except for maybe KD's transition threes. That's about it. In transition, Kawhi got it. So what I'm saying is, KD's a better pull up. A better offensive player, but the gap isn't close to as big as the gap is on the defensive end.
Kawhi, I can think of KD transition move right now. The double crossover to the rim dunk.
Achilles KD. You talking about post Achilles KD? You're not talking about.
He tore his Achilles 6 years ago. That was a long time.
Yeah,
and he's still probably the best scorer.
KD pre-Achilles cleared Kawhi in transition.
No, clear him on offense. No, just clear him on offense.
Yeah, but transition is.
Yeah, I mean, look, if that's how y'all feel, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm cool with your explanation with Leonard.
But do you agree with it? No, but chill. Do you agree with it? No, all right, there we go.
I'm not trying to convince y'all. I'm just chill.
That's all I asked.
So you don't value longevity?
That's all I asked. I asked for.
I didn't say I don't value longevity.
I'm asking.
No, you don't.
You don't value longevity?
Kawhi's still playing.
Yeah, but like compared to KD,
but when is he gonna play? Is the question too, and when he gonna play?
Kawhi still
and
playing.
when
we just seen him play 69 games. Kawhi still playing.
Do me a favor. Go get you season tickets to the Clippers and make sure you circle all the games Kawhi Leonard gonna play.
If I lived in LA, I'd have season tickets to the Clippers.
We actually got season tickets. We got league pass, so we get to watch.
On top, you know what too though, Jordan, to make that even more. Hold on, bro. I'll be right 1 second. To make so I actually had to get tickets to come watch him play up here in Portland.
Yeah,
we ended up because it was 4 of us, me, my girl, two, and my kids. We go to the game, but so it was like a birthday gift surprise for me. So spent a good amount of bread to get 4 tickets. I was close up.
Yeah,
and
don't tell me that. When I
tell you Kawhi.
PG, manager,
John Wall,
Don't tell me that.
Damian Lillard. I'm telling you. So this was last season, not this season that just passed, the season before that. So this when John Wall was on the team. So John Wall, PG, Kawhi, Dame, none of them.
All of them do.
None of them play.
He said none of them play.
None of them play.
I'm gonna give you a backstory. So my best friend played for the Clippers the year Kawhi Leonard got there. right? And PG got there, right? I went to all the Clippers games. I may have seen him play 20 times. I'm talking about at home.
So that's why you mad at him, because you ain't get to see him.
Oh, it makes sense.
But Jordan, like this.
No, that's not why I'm mad. But
this is the thing too. Me and Kawhi the same age. You know what I'm saying? So in AAU, you know, I've been seeing about Kawhi for a long time, and then he went to San Diego State with my boy. So I've been watching him at San Diego State. Yeah. I've been a big fan of Kawhi's forever. So
that's different. Yeah, okay, that's different. But Kawhi, cool dude, nothing personal. I love Kawhi off the court, cool dude. Great.
Looking at the box score of this game that Ox is alluding to, you got to see the Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons versus Norman Powell show. Norman Powell had 32.
I mean, you know me.
Had 37. Jeremy Grant had 32.
You know me, Mars. I love basketball, so I was upset, but I wasn't tripping though. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I can still. Norman
Powell, you're not furious.
Yeah, Norman Powell, one of my favorite players, so I ain't tripping. You know.
Yeah, you see Norman Powell go for 32. That's probably where you got that Devin Booker stuff from. He's like, I've seen it when it was the first option against the Trailblazers that time. I seen it. I was like,
fellas, I gotta dive into the top two, which is pretty evident, but I still do have to mention it. We have coming in at 2, Larry Bird, Larry Legend, and then at number 1 we have LeBron James.
Yeah.
Don't forget to say the King.
I mean, Bird, one of the better shot makers, shot creators, one of the better playmakers that I've ever seen, one of the best rebounders that I've ever seen.
24 and 10 for his career, 5 assists or 6 assists.
One of the best team defenders. He was a solid one-on-one defender. He was a better team defender. He did cover a lot of ground as a team defender. He was great in transition, even in the half court as a distributor, how he was able to manufacture offense when there was none there, especially as a big guy at 6'9", how he was able to get everybody else involved in the offense. He probably was their best distributor considering what he did he probably was their best distributor considering what that offense was, how great he was in transition as a stop and pop guy, how he sped them up as an offense. But Larry Bird was fantastic, no doubt about that.
It says injuries stop Kawhi and KD from surpassing Bird. Injuries stop Bird from surpassing a lot of people. Actually, that's the inverse. It's the other way. Had Bird had 3-4 more years, you would be having him in much different conversations.
Yes.
The ABA held back Dr. J, injuries held back KD, injuries held back Bird. By the end of the day, none of them are going to catch number 1. So it is what it is.
All right, y'all. This is what we have. This is the list. Like it, love it, hate it, dislike it. This is what it is. This is Player Choice's top 10 small forwards ever. All right, fellas, we are going to be right back, and then I'm going to get into these super chats.
What up, PC Nation? Warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this July with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Make your day delicious. From breakfast to dessert, stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well-balanced. Head to factormeals.com/playerschoice50 and use code PlayersChoice50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code PlayersChoice50 at factormeals.com/PlayersChoice50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
All right, y'all, here we go right from the top of the super chat list. Your Highness Charles said, rank these sitcoms: Wayne's Bros, Steve Harvey Show, Family Matters, Martin in the Parkers. Ox, I'm going to give this to you.
Let me see. Okay, it goes Martin, Wayne's Bros, Family. No. Martin, Family Matters, Wayne's Bros, Steve Harvey, then the Parkers.
All right, there you have it. Sorcerer said that was like Ron threw the ball in the air on the break and Trill tried to catch it but got dunked on by JD on some LBJ type ish.
No, he's talking about when Trill got rudely interrupted. All right.
Hutton Gilgris, or Gilgors, our latest Hall of Famer, he said ISO Joe is underrated bucket getter and scorer. Put some respect on his name for real, guys.
Yeah, we should have put him top 10. Yeah, we should have.
Cash Out Abu sent through a members chat. He's been around for 2 months. He said Lonnie Walker to Boston. Brad Stevens needs to be drug tested. Apparently, he doesn't think this is a good move.
Yeah, that's a good move.
No, I don't think
it's a great move.
I think he means like he's on PEDs of executives.
I think that's what he means. Yeah. But I would say that it's not that great. Is what he's saying, but it's a good move. But he like overhyping it. He must be a serious Boston fan.
Sanji said Melo isn't better than Jimmy Butler or PG.
Cap.
Better than PG for sure, but Jimmy Butler better in the playoffs.
Worldwide Mace TV said, Ron, before KG and Ray got there, Paul went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Neek never made it out the second round. You were talking without knowing facts.
The O2 East compared to the East, Neek was having to go against the two different things. I just want to put that out there.
The Celtics in '88, the Detroit Pistons in '88. It was a nightmare.
That's why I don't judge these teams by how far they go. Like if you're in a far inferior conference and you go further than someone in a stronger conference, I don't care.
You hear that, Worldwide Mace? You listening? Turn that up. Rewind that part. Turn it up.
You be praising people for going to the finals out that East run, so I don't think you like
Iverson.
Anyone.
That was different though.
I would love to have that Dwayne Wade and Iverson debate though. By the way,
let me join the shooting guard this one.
The quickest conversation ever.
We could do the shooting guards on Monday.
Monday. Looking forward to it.
Dookie Blaylock been around for 9 months. He said the real top 10 small forwards all time. Braun at 1, Bird at 2, Dr. J at 3. See, he's a smart guy. KD at 4, Scotty at 5, Dominique at 6, James Worthy at 7, Paul Pierce at 8. Elgin Baylor at 9 and Melo at 10.
But you know he a Kawhi hater. He's the known Kawhi hater of this. And
it's not news, Ron, and it ain't news.
Yeah, I saw him in the chat. He was campaigning heavily the whole time. I seen it. I was like, Duke was the only person who voted that Kawhi wasn't.
Mad Max Sports Talk, been a member for 13 months, sent through a members chat and said it was because Melo support of Farrakhan.
Then why was he back in the league then? If that was the case.
Conspiracy. And not a good one, by the way, too.
Yo, Jordan, you got some background noise, so I'm on mute.
Okay.
They try to act like Melo was outside the Madison Square selling bean pies or something.
Right.
Pimp named Slickback said, I feel like it's easier saying this from our position. No offense, but none of us have ever been on Melo's level. Imagine telling a doctor that he has to be the nursing assistant for a year.
That's a good point, but that's a very good point, but whatever. I mean,
easier said than done. I mean, I've never said anything these NBA guys do is easy,
right?
But
I don't feel like that doesn't mean we can't have a conversation about it.
Yeah, like I'm not like even when we talk about someone having a bad game. Oh, you went 4 for 16. I promise I would have gone 0 for 16 in the same situation, but that doesn't mean I can't point out that they played poorly. Like
it's on TV.
I don't know about all that, Morris. 4 for 16 is egregious. But like you said, it was a good point, Jordan. I think it's a terrible point. Nobody up here is trying to say, "Oh yeah, I can play with Melo." Like, nah, Melo will cook. But the point is, no matter how good of a player you are, you still have to be able to adjust. You still have to hold yourself accountable, especially if you want to be looked at as a leader. You got to lead by example. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to be. You know, I hate that when somebody's like, "Oh, well, this person's so good, they don't have to do that." Like, yeah, but you do. That's why Melo, with all the respect, don't got no rings.
He got 3 of them, 4 actually. I heard Rashad McCants and
had he got one
Davis
at a
worse than Jaylen Brown. No, that's what I heard. So
had Carmelo Anthony got one as a role player, I don't think it would be respected anyway. Though, to your point about
Westbrook gonna get one as a role player. It's gonna be part of his legacy.
No, it won't.
Yes, it
Jason
will.
Jason Kidd's
fellas,
ring
we
is
gotta-
respectable.
Jason Kidd got a role player
You
already.
gotta worry about that.
I
Jason
gotta
Kidd
read
went by
super
himself.
chats, y'all. We got to move on. But shout
Yeah,
out
but
to
he
Educated
won.
Tyrone. He became a member. And then Julius Irvin, ironically, on a small forward day, sent this through saying Steph and the Warriors didn't play first playoff game until 2013, same as Kawhi. Also, what percentage of games have Kawhi missed versus the amount of available games?
But Kawhi came in the league in 2011, Steph in 2009. So like,
Yeah, but they didn't get in the playoffs in 2013, so that doesn't really matter.
What percentage of playoff games has Kawhi missed? I don't know. I could look it up. I'd assume he's probably played about 80% of all available playoff games. I'd assume.
Like James Harden probably didn't make the playoffs to what? No, James Harden.
James Harden's made the playoffs every year of his career.
He never missed the playoffs. So he got in 2009. Then yeah.
Hutton Gilgores, our newest Hall of Famer, said, "Do you think Dr. J, if he never went to the ABA and would be an NBA and was in the NBA his whole career, would he be a top 3 small forward all time?"
4 MVPs, 4 championships, and 5 MVPs, or whatever the number would be. Yeah, I mean, he would be in a different conversation.
Well, it depends what team he was on in the NBA. Like, but probably, yeah, that longevity would have been borderline unparalleled.
Bam Gabe, a member for 11 months, said 7 reasons why Kawhi dominant, but harps on one.
One very good one. A very good one, too. One very good one. One important one to me.
One body.
Availability is your best ability.
Cook.
Mikal Bridges is going to be a top 10 small forward, but when it's all said and done.
He's not in the criteria. Don't do that. He's not in the
available. You're available.
Not in the criteria, though. Everybody that's in the criteria is available with more than Mikal Bridges.
We're going to see. We're going to see. He averaged 27 for 27 games that one time.
8 Gates Lee sent through a member's chat. He's been around for 11 months. He said, who's a better two-way player, Kareem or Bron, Doug Marina and F. Harry Potter?
I don't got no
definitely Doug Marina Mabry. Definitely Doug Marina Mabry, but I mean Hakeem Olajuwon.
Why F. Harry Potter?
Why would that be a question though, as a two-way player as Hakeem and LeBron? Why would that be a question though?
Because people think LeBron was some god on the defensive end.
Because it went viral. It went like relatively like viral on like Twitter a couple days ago.
So they hype LeBron's defense just like they hype Giannis' defense.
No, they ain't hyping LeBron defense. But so people really believe
James
that
is a better two-way
Hakeem
player than
Olajuwon.
LeBron.
Yes, I was just about to say people really believe that Hakeem Olajuwon is a better two-way player than LeBron.
Yes.
What do you mean? Wait, people really believe what?
Everybody should think that.
Ox believes that.
Everyone believes that.
Everybody should
better.
No, the hell we do not. No.
Hakeem Olajuwon was not a more complete player than LeBron James. No, he wasn't.
We gotta open this up tomorrow, but that will be an opening topic. I promise you that. Keeping it pushing, Creative Bobby said, if coach don't know 60s and 70s era, fall back and don't be so thirsty to trash what you don't know. You just wrong, fam. Let people who know debate, or let people who know educate.
Thirsty is crazy because I said I don't like debating the 60s and 70s era because of that.
But you did, to be fair. But you did. You spent about 20 minutes on it.
I did. Okay, I got you. That's cool.
Pip named Slickback said the psychology of being at the top of the world, one of the best, to going to being a bench warmer is hard. I get the Knicks side, but I see Melo's side.
Facts.
For sure.
Facts. That's why it was easier for Paul Pierce, because he was always a role player. But shout out to y'all. I'll see y'all next week, fellas. See you in Miami.
I think we did a good job, guys. I think we did a good job.
We'll see if we do the same thing with the shooting guards, and
we'll
see
get that video up. Salsa bachata video. Let's go.
What?
Swipe and Chill got a little date this weekend. They're going salsa together. But Devon Williams said Sabrina sold Stewie last night. Cardoso needs more touches. Plus, the Sky's guards are ass without Kennedy Carter.
They should have never let go of Marina. But I've been hearing a lot. That's the new trend lately. A lot of people are saying that Camilla just needs a lot more touches, and I'm not opposed to that at all. I think Camilla, because she got a really nice touch. You know what I'm saying? Her hands are a lot softer than I thought they were. So we'll see.
Realist123 said Alex English was the first player to score 2,000 points in 8 straight seasons, averaged nearly 30 from 82 to 87. For me, he's top 5.
I had Alex English in my top 10, right? I believe so.
Oh, you had him? Oh,
shout out Alex English.
Yeah,
It's Mr. GQ to you said, yo, Ron, the Gifted pay you for the bye week in the first round of the PCL? How do you get that with such a low seed?
Damn, he violated us. That's crazy.
GQ been a hater of mine for quite some time, but you know, I've been trying to tell him, man, if you love me, just, you know what I'm saying, say you love me. You don't got to sit around talking about me all day. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, if you love me, tell me you love me, dog. It's all good.
I'm trying to figure out who's more of a little guy in the chat. Is it Hanzo? Matter of fact, I'm calling you Lonzo. Lonzo Fall. That's your new name. Is it Lonzo Fall or is it Lil Mikey? Which one of you two?
Lil Mikey, not even acknowledging Lil Mikey no more. I forgot he was here.
Lil Mikey or Lonzo. But anyways, Pip named Slickback said, I think he meant one-on-one scores. Tito El Bandito said dub list. Almighty Scambo said Dean Wade better be there. And El FIFA Bozo. Damn, FIFA Bozo.
Dean Wade is crazy. Dean Wade is not there at all. Not on nobody's list. Do you know who Dean Wade is?
No Name said Tatum on and off differential in 2023-24 is -2 points. Damn. Realist 123 said Bron not top 5 is crazy. T-Mac not even close to it.
Okay, we don't need to hate on T-Mac. Let's slow down.
Mo said, where's the shooting guard list? L host. Maybe Monday. Maybe Harden won't be on there.
I got a crazy list for that one. If I'm
my shooting guard list is wild. I ain't gonna lie.
We're gonna have a real debate. I'm gonna have to get on early on Monday.
Masink OG said Angela Bassett clears.
I ain't mad at you.
Hey, auntie.
We ain't even getting to Tony Braxton. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, auntie. That's all I gotta say. LaFlame said, where's JT? Dub Tatum, Dub Chill.
No way.
Hey, for what it's worth, I'll consider Jason Tatum.
It's not
Drink More Water said, we need the Jalen Green convo with Mars and Jordan.
We ain't got time.
Yeah, it's easy. I would end it fairly easy with you on that one.
You gonna put that to rest?
We ain't got time.
Julius Irvin, Dr. J's nephew, said, to be fair, Shaq never missed any playoff games.
Fact.
Kundrill said, Dubox, KD isn't top 5.
Okay.
The KD hate.
Yes. And last but not least, Dookie Blaylocks said if D-Wade dominated, then Alex English was dominant. Oh, and also, Alan L just gave us an update. Appreciate this, Alan L. He said, Open Gym is live, by the way. L host, which means you guys need to get the hell up out of here, like the video on the way out, and then go to Open Gym and like the video on the way in. We'll catch you guys at the same time tomorrow. Different crew, same dub show. L Lonzo, L Mike, L Almighty Scambo, Dub Open Gym. We'll catch y'all later. Jordan, appreciate you for pulling up again.
No issue.
Merry Christmas.